I know everything about AMC. This episode is brought to you by Hello Fresh.
Why, hello, Fresh.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me, as always, is my co-host, Mick Mason.
Yep, your co-host with the moho host.
Yes, that's right.
That's exactly me. I just have a confession to make. We mentioned this off air. I've never seen the TV show Art Attack.
Yeah.
I feel that might be controversial in some way. I don't know what it is.
It's okay. It's like a dude, and he's like, "This is an art attack."
Okay, but what does that
and
mean?
Then he shows you an art attack.
But what's an art attack?
It's an art attack.
Is it just?
It's what you feel.
See, I was going to say it makes me picture like just some like 80s punk dude with a mohawk just smashing up like the Mona Lisa, whatever.
This is an art attack,
right? Just stabbing Picasso, the man himself.
Absolutely. No, so he'll take a bunch of trash and he'll like make it into a big elephant or something. It's for kids, or he'll be like, "This is how you make like a ball look shiny." And he'll draw like a ball and then put two little lines on it. So it's like two little shiny lines.
Couldn't you just purchase a pre-shined ball?
No, you draw the ball. He's teaching you how to draw.
Couldn't I just download a picture of a shiny ball off the internet?
In 1989 or whenever the show was on.
Yeah,
you could.
That's what I thought. Exactly. Maybe that's what I was doing. Just downloading shiny balls. Well, that's okay. So it was a show.
It's a British show that came here. I don't know if Americans would know.
Okay,
I don't know. Let us know if you're American.
But Australians are always like, oh my, like there'll be what happens to me a lot. I find is somebody will be like, only 90s kids will recognize this, whatever, and there'll just be a picture out of context, and there's like 1,000 responses that are like, oh my god, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what.
Look, check out some Art Attack. There's the top search on YouTube has 658,000 views.
Okay.
So
is it for kids who don't know what Art Attack is? Is that the title?
People know what Art Attack is. It's just you. Anyway, we got to get on with the show.
Do we? I want to talk. How did I miss Art Attack? Was it on after school?
You can't know. You can't. Yeah, I think it was. I don't know. It's just whenever. I don't remember.
Okay, maybe that's why.
I just remember it being on sometimes.
Okay, right.
I don't know the specific times,
Okay.
If you're just watching the ABC during the day, the Australian Broadcasting Association, that's what it says.
I was at school.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe
all these urchins were off not being at school.
I did skip a lot of school, didn't I?
Maybe that's it, yeah. That could be it anyway.
This week got a bunch of stuff going on. We're going to talk about the Umbrella Academy.
If there's a show you didn't watch as a child and therefore don't know what it is, email in and let us know.
What is it?
What is this thing you don't know? Bonus points if you don't know it at all. You're just guessing.
Absolutely.
If you don't know Art Attack, email in if you're from America.
Please do.
Anyway, sorry, what's happening on the show this week?
So we got the thing I said before.
The Umbrella Academy. We're going to talk about season 2. It's out.
That's right. We got some news about that Kate Bishop casting for the Hawkeye series.
Oh, yeah.
The Witcher TV series. Some Netflix news, which you brought to the table, which I think is interesting. And also the results of Comic-Con 2020. Not to jump ahead. But
the winners and losers of Comic-Con 2020.
I mean in terms of like listenership and watching.
Oh,
so it was pretty dire.
But you're saying no spoilers up ahead, but fart noise and thumbs down.
No, I had to fart. That was
unrelated. Okay, right. Okay, well,
yeah. But there's time codes below as always if you do want to check.
Would you say that the fart was thematically appropriate to the Comic-Con news?
Yes,
though?
Mason. It wasn't a real fart. I lied. It's a fake fart.
Yeah, it's thrown for a loop.
I know.
So you're saying Art Attack was probably not real either?
No, it's real.
I don't know.
Look, just check out Art Attack.
Was he a guy and he wore like a smock and he had a beret on?
No, he was a cool everyday 90s dude.
So big shirt.
Yeah, big shirt. Not really. I'll show you. We're spending too much time on Art Attack.
I think we're spending the exact correct amount of time on Art Attack. Oh, side note, if we can reconvene the grill team briefly.
Okay.
Turns out you can buy those little portable barbecues in Australia.
Oh, can you?
You can get them at the hardware store.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's barbecues everywhere here.
Barbecues everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
People will be surprised to know it. Like in parks in Australia.
Yeah.
There are barbecues built into the landscape.
That's right.
Put a coin in, you get a barbecue.
They were there before the first settlers got here.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the Art Attack guy. Look how serious he is about art, but don't let that fool you.
Oh, he's got a sweater on. He's quite serious.
Yeah, but he's not all business. He's all art.
He looks like a man who would object to having that sweater on.
No. He's not like that. He's a very jovial man.
Wow.
Neil Buchanan, apparently.
Okay, right.
There we go. Okay. Anyway.
Well, I'm glad.
Me too. IGN.
Should we bring it back?
What, the sweat?
Art Attack.
We don't need to. Everybody knows it except you.
No, but a new version of Art Attack, we could host Art
I'm
Attack.
not very artistic because I gave up because I thought someone told me when I was a kid there's no money in it, so I
James,
stopped drawing.
it's not about being artistic. If Art Attack has taught me anything, it's about the enthusiasm for the craft. It's about drawing a ball and then putting some lines on it so it looks like a shiny ball.
That's what it's about.
You can do that. I believe in you.
No, I can do it because of Art Attack.
And what I think the show should be, it's you and you show people how to draw a thing or whatever, or how to improve your art techniques. And then there's just me on the side being like, was this in the original show? Is this new? Is this a new thing? Is this a modern bit?
And then you attack me.
Yeah, and then I smash your work because that's the Art Attack, I assume.
In the spirit of Art Attack.
Yeah.
All right, IGN had the first reveal of Batman Death in the Family, which isn't your grandma's
This is a
Batman
new animated
thing.
project, and it's different.
Right. It's different. First of all, it is a prequel to Under the Red Hood, which is one of the best DC animated movies.
A prequel of sorts, I
That's
guess.
right. It's got Bruce Greenwood's returning and Joe DiMaggio.
Voice of Bender.
That's right, as
Yeah.
Batman and the Joker.
So for people who don't know Death in the Family,
Yes.
the original comic book was from the 80s.
That's right.
The home of Art
Art
Attack.
Attack.
It was based around the second Robin, Jason Todd, who famously fans were divided on whether they liked him or not, whether he was as good as Dick Grayson, the original Robin.
That's right.
And so DC decided to create this storyline called Death in the Family, where one of the issues would end in a cliffhanger on whether or not this Robin was going to live or die, and then readers were allowed to call a couple of different numbers,
Ring,
phone
ring,
numbers,
hello.
like they did back in the 80s,
Yeah.
and determine whether or not, interactively, whether or not
Yes.
this Jason Todd was going to die. And by a small number of votes, he did die,
Yes.
but obviously not really because he came back
Yeah,
decades
the Red
later.
Hood, yeah.
So now they've in the spirit of that,
That's right.
Death in the Family, the animated interactive movie experience. You, the viewer, get to choose whether or not he lives. There's three options: whether he lives, whether he is saved by Batman. Oh, it's whether he survives on his own, I guess. Whether he dies or whether Batman saves him in time.
Right, yeah.
And so the movie is going to play out differently. I imagine there'll be more options besides that.
Apparently there's 7 possible endings, but the Under the Red Hood continuity is like the baseline. But it's
Yeah,
like your
right.
Bandersnatch. It's like you get to
Yeah.
choose the story.
But also, as I understand it, the digital version is not going to have that option.
Well, I don't think it could.
No,
'Cause unless
right?
it went to a Netflix or something
yeah,
like
right.
that. Yeah.
So what is basically going to happen is you get the interactive options if you buy the DVD or the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But if you download it digitally, I imagine they just play out in order.
Yeah, I assume
It's like
so.
they go, here's story 1, here's story 2, here's story 3, etc. So
But yeah, so were you excited to be like, ooh, let's see, clickety click?
yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I think I'd rather just watch like the different versions as opposed to choose.
Yeah, right.
Because there is that moment when they're like, Batman, what are you going to do?
Yes.
Batman, are you having a stroke? You haven't said anything for 10 seconds. You're just staring blankly. Batman.
Sorry, I was just reminiscing about things in the 80s, which is now the current time that I'm living in.
So it also could include several characters previously unseen in the original film. So different directions, you also get different characters that you won't see in other timelines.
Well, this version seems to have at least some version of Robin become Red Robin. So it's probably Jason Todd,
Yeah.
I'm guessing. And that's a role that different Robins have had over the years. So
Sure.
Tim Drake, the third Robin, had that role for a while. There's a mystery version in Kingdom Come, which I think is Tim Drake, or could be a different Robin. Who knows? Anyway, so we're going to see whether he lives on as Robin, or he evolves to something else, or he becomes the Red Hood.
But in continuity, he becomes the
Red Hood, yes, it's
Yeah,
true.
But it's just a fun experiment. I like this idea. I
Yeah.
think it's a cool kind of throwback, and it's also linked to. Well, I think that's my favorite, the modern DC animated movies.
Under the Red Hood,
Probably
yeah,
my
right.
favorite one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I like some of the other ones too. Some
And it
of
shifts those DVDs too.
them. You know it does.
Yeah, maybe
Get 'em
we
out
should do
there.
that.
Yeah, let's shift
When we do
some
this,
DVDs.
when we do Art Attack, we'll put it on DVD. And will I praise your beautiful art?
Will you
Will
attack it?
I be indifferent towards it, the default, or will I destroy it? Also the default.
You get to see so many shiny balls. I'm
Yeah.
gonna draw so many.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Did you see that Pixar have unveiled their new thing?
Nope.
It's called Luca. Erencino
Sorry, it's called
Casarosa.
Luca, like Luca.
Yes. He's a storyboard artist at Pixar, part of the creative team, and he directed the short film La Luna about 9 or 10 years ago.
So he's doing Luna and then Luca.
Yes.
Oh,
So he's of Italian origin.
Oh, yes.
And it's set in Italy, and the animated film is described as a coming-of-age adventure that will tell the story of a young boy named Luca as he experiences an unforgettable summer with his newfound best friend in a seaside town on the Italian Riviera. But all the fun is threatened by a deeply held secret. He is a sea monster from another world just below the surface. He is a sea monster from another world. just below the water surface. Oh, so is like the top of him a boy? And then
All
there's
right.
the monster underneath?
Hey, I love swimming in the ocean. Join me in the ocean. I can't join you on the surface. I don't like it.
But I love eating children.
Miss Goosey. Miss Goosey, I cannot live on the surface world.
So there you go. I think that's coming 2021.
So
and
he is a sea monster.
I don't know. That's what it says.
Sounds like reverse Little Mermaid.
I copied it verbatim.
She's a sea monster.
She's a regular mermaid. Regular.
Yeah, that's a sea monster.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I think it's exciting though.
Yeah, I think so.
That
Do we see? Do we have any footage? Do we have any
still
image?
of some kids jumping into the water. I don't know if he is a sea monster. That doesn't make any sense. Where did I copy this from?
Maybe he's friends with a sea monster.
Probably friends with a sea monster like that Ted Danson Loch Ness movie. Remember that one?
Nope. Oh, vaguely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to look it up real quick.
Look it up real quick.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we bloody go. While you're doing that, I'll just quickly mention awards season.
Okay, go on.
Emmy time.
He looks like a regular kid. He's leaping off a thing.
That's what I was
How could he
thinking.
be a sea monster? Unless he's like one of those sponges you put in the water and it gets really big.
Oh, right.
So maybe when he's dried out, he looks like a regular boy. You put him in the ocean. You know?
Yeah, but ineffective because he's like waterlogged.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So award season for Emmys.
Yes.
26 nominations for Watchmen, which
Yes.
is great.
That's many.
That's a good show, and I'm glad. Succession got 18 and Westworld got 11. Everybody else got other things.
You've
as well.
seen Succession.
Yes. Really
What's
good.
Succession about?
The Murdochs.
Is it really?
I mean, not really.
But
yes.
like a version of the Murdochs.
Yeah,
okay,
essentially.
right.
It's got the dude, Stryker from X-Men.
Yes,
He's
Brian Cox.
Yeah, Brian Cox. That's him.
Yeah.
I nearly said the guy from Super Troopers, but people were like, "He's not. How dare you?" I know he's in other things.
I don't remember him being in
He's
Super
in
Troopers
Troy,
at all.
He's in a.
Who's he
he's
in
like
Super
the chief.
Troopers?
He's like the action.
Oh, is he? Right. Okay.
Maybe.
Oh my god.
He might not be.
You ever think about the storied careers of beloved character actors?
Yeah.
Like one time they're like, they're fully embodying Diego Rivera, Frida Kahlo's husband, and the next they've got big robot octopus arms strapped to their back and they're pretending to rob a bank.
Yeah, that's
you know
right.
what I mean?
You can do whatever.
You can do whatever you want.
That's Hollywood for you.
That's Hollywood, baby.
Do any of those nominations excite you? Awards, Mason.
Watchmen deserves a lot, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
That's
I know Damon Lindelof has said again that he's not going to do any more.
Right.
But he said he wouldn't mind seeing like somebody else have a crack at
I
it.
think I read an article this week that was about, also, first of all, speaking of Luca, it says, a dark secret about his true identity. He is a sea monster from another world just below the water surface. So he's a sea monster.
That's just, what does it mean just below the surface?
I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense. It's like, I'm imagining one of those like anglerfish we know with the big light.
Yeah.
Like he's dangling a boy.
Maybe.
Yoo-hoo, let's play in the surf. Yoo-hoo.
Maybe he is, it must be magic, surely.
I don't know.
I would prefer just some people hanging out in the Riviera, just having a nice time.
Just go on holiday if you
Just
want that.
driving a Vespa.
Just go on holiday
Eating a
if you want
gelato, I
that.
can't. We're not allowed.
Just get out of here.
Okay, cool. Great.
Yeah.
Well,
I've done that Italian Riviera.
Yeah.
I've done the Cinque Terre, Mason.
Oh, yes.
It's a good walk.
Nice.
Get some gelato on the way.
I'm just talking about the gelato, exactly. Little gelato.
It's good. I should have worn better shoes.
Little
though.
cappuccino for breakfast,
I
not
fucked my
not
feet up
after
on that
11
walk.
a.m.
No, definitely not. So there you go.
I was going to say I read an article this week about Alan Moore's opinion of modern day Watchmen, the TV series. Let's see if I can find
There's
it.
a new Rorschach prequel comic. Do you see that as well?
I think his opinion might be, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to.
No.
He'd be curious, so I reckon, wouldn't he?
I would have thought so. Look, honestly, I
Especially people like it's good.
if anything was going to turn his head on Watchmen adaptations, it would be this. But I
Yeah.
think at this point, look, a few years ago he told a magazine that he sees his refusal to be named or compensated for projects he doesn't agree with as a way of taking some power over the situation. You can't buy that kind of empowerment. To just know that as far as you're aware, you've not got a price, that there is not an amount of money large enough to make you compromise even a tiny bit of principle that, as it turned out, would make no practical difference anyway.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he did sell a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. No, good on him. Good on him and whatever he's doing.
Anyway, this article doesn't say.
That's fascinating.
Isn't it,
to
though?
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mason,
Yes.
the Hollywood Reporter, this is what they're saying.
Uh-huh.
Beyond Good and Evil, you familiar with that game?
Was it a Peter Molyneux game?
No, it was a PS2 Ubisoft game.
Was Peter Molyneux
I
involved
don't
somehow?
think he was. I don't really like that guy. I think he's overrated.
All right, then. I
let me
reckon he was involved somehow.
Fine, he's involved.
Good.
It's like a Tomb Raider style-esque game, but you're taking photos of stuff.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, you're thinking of that one they did about the boy, Milo. Remember the interactive boy?
No.
He was like on your TV. It was like a, you know, that Microsoft camera thing they had where you
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
and you'd
right.
go and he'd be like, have you done your homework? And he'd be like, I haven't done my homework. And I'm like, why would anybody do?
Why are you scolding an imaginary boy?
What is this?
I don't like that. I'd be like, boy, be free. Go ahead and play. Why am I making an AI?
I'm trapped in a TV, he says.
Well, I'll get you out.
Anyway.
Here comes an art attack. I've got an axe. And I'd smash the TV.
So
we're talking about black and white. Wait, we're talking about Beyond
Beyond
Good
Good
and
and Evil.
Okay,
yeah.
right.
So it's a video game.
Okay, I've heard of video games.
So it didn't do super well. I remember wanting to get it at the time when it came out, and I never did. But there is another game they're making at the moment for Ubisoft. But here's the thing: so it's an Ubisoft game.
Okay.
But the thing is, it was an adaptation. The last one they did was, I think the last one they did was Assassin's Creed. They might have had some direct-to-DVD stuff, or just some other movies. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But did you see the recent controversy at Ubisoft? The guy
Is crunch involved somehow?
sexual harassment, a bunch of stuff.
Oh, dear.
Because the guy who oversaw, you know how all Ubisoft games are essentially the same, and they've got towers that you climb and enemy encampments and get feathers and whatever. You know,
Yeah,
they're all-
leap
they're all
into
that.
some
leap
hay.
in a thing and whatever. But even not like outside of Assassin's Creed, a lot of them
Yeah.
are just that. The same guy, Serge Hayescoat, he oversaw all the games, and that's why they're all like so uniform. Because I don't know if you remember, like Ubisoft used to make like they do a platformer and an open world and whatever.
Yeah,
And
back in a million years ago. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So he actually resigned amid sexual allegations recently. Yeah, but with the Beyond Good and Evil, they're like, it's this big open world thing and you can explore. And it's like, I don't think that's what that game's about. I think you've missed the point of this game entirely. But it's a beloved franchise they've been threatening to bring back for 10 years now, but they still haven't. So there you go. Are you excited for Beyond Good and Evil? You got a stick in a camera. Ooh. You're an investigative journalism.
I don't mind that. That's kind of fun.
Again, I've never played it.
Right.
You want to talk about the Netflix thing that's going on at the moment?
Oh, my
And this
God.
intrigues
Ubisoft
me.
created BAT.
Yeah.
The Amiga 500. Oh, my God.
I'm not saying they haven't made good stuff.
No, I'm not saying. I can't remember. Yeah.
Because they have, but like...
God, some of these. I'm just looking at a list of old Ubisoft games from the 80s. They're so French, James, Ubisoft.
They are, aren't they?
So French. Skateball, 1989
Oh, my
Skateball.
God. Is that French, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Watch Dogs, all of these things. It's all like...
Ranks, the video game.
Ranks.
Ranks based on the comic book character Ranks.
I don't know Ranks. What's his
Okay.
deal?
Oh, they made Unreal back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy Connor's Pro Tennis Tour, so European.
Oh, one of my favourites.
Yeah. Oh, the platform game First Samurai. Prequel to Last Samurai.
I'm not good at this. I'm the first one. I don't know anything.
The Koshin Conspiracy. I'm just naming things. Sometimes I do have some nostalgia for things, and I like to save it up when we're trying to record a podcast and keep it on track.
Sure, yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
be like,
yeah.
oh
I can
my
appreciate that,
God.
yeah.
Oh my God.
But
Rayman.
they
They
do,
did
Rayman's
Rayman.
good.
Yeah.
As I said, like there's some good stuff that they have done, but yeah, horrible company apparently.
Oh, that's a shame.
They did the Stick of Truth. People love that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So they Just Dance, boo. Anyway, we should move on.
Okay,
Netflix,
cool.
Mason, what are you talking about?
James, in Bat, the video game Bat,
You're
you
a
had
bat.
like a... No, you're a man.
Oh.
You were like a...
And it should be called Man, shouldn't it?
Man, that's true. It was like an RPG, but you had like a iPad-like device built into your arm.
Oh, like a Fallout-y kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
It was like
with
in your arm.
What do you do with it?
Just a lot of circuits and stuff. You know what the games,
Hacking and whatever.
Yeah, you know what games were like back in the 80s.
I remember. Not good. Yeah, I mean, not good. Yeah. What's next, Mason? What are we doing?
I don't know. What is next?
Netflix. I keep asking you.
Oh, yeah, Netflix. Oh, yeah.
What's the deal?
Well, the deal is, I believe currently Netflix have, they've long promised this option.
Yes.
But they've implemented...
Or threatened, as some
yes,
people
some people would say threatened. Some auteurs would say threatened.
Certainly.
On certain devices they're rolling out, I think they started with Android devices, so mostly TVs and stuff.
Yeah.
You can have the option to change the play speed of various things. So you have to pick it every time you select an episode of something, it's like, do you want to select your playback speed? Like you can't just set it and leave it forever.
Yeah, right.
Like that's their concession to people who are like, you shouldn't be able to change the speed to whatever, it's ruining the artist's vision kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you can make it up to 0.5 speed slower, or you can make it up to 1.5 speed faster, I think.
I mean, you can do it on podcasts, and that's the greatest art form of all.
That's right. For some people, we're talking like this.
That's right.
And for some people who've already set us to 1.5 speed, how you can imagine how fast we're going.
Also, we get at least one message a week which says, I listen to you guys at half speed and you sound drunk. We get at least one of that.
That's
and I
right.
think it's a different person every time.
Maybe.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some outrage about the artist division, but you also mentioned some interesting things before the show. I'm not against this because I don't care. Like,
Sure,
I
yeah,
mean, that's
yeah.
not how I'm going to watch things.
No.
But it's an option that you don't. It's to me, it's like doing a video game on easy mode or speeding up a podcast or skimming through a book. It's like, however, it might not be the best way to consume it, but you can't tell people how.
Look, on the one
to
hand, that
enjoy
is
things.
true. And look, and again, if I believe the American there are various American deaf and blind associations.
Yes.
Were like, okay, this is good because if you are hard of hearing and you're using the subtitles. Sometimes they just zip past.
Yeah.
And it's like a frustrating effect of like, oh, I didn't quite get that. I'm going to have to wind
Yeah,
it back 10 seconds.
absolutely.
Wind it back. Okay, wind it back kind of thing. So now, of course, the subtitles go a little bit slower.
Yeah.
And again, it's not, it seems to me it's not, okay, you can run it at regular speed or you can run it at half speed and that's your option. Like there's a range in between.
Oh, to pick what works for you.
Yeah. And so, that's handy for people. And people who are blind. Also, the option is the audio is a little bit slower, so you can sort of take it in, which I think is good. And again, look, I read a Twitter thread today. It was somebody who they'd made a movie. They were cinematographer on a movie or something like that. There was a screening of a particular movie of theirs, and it was running it 1 frame per second lower than it was normally set to run at. And they were like, this is like, to them, the people who'd made it, they're like, this has ruined it. Like it's thrown the timing off completely. And I'm like, I understand, like as the people who are creating this, but I would imagine for a lot of people, they wouldn't notice that. They wouldn't notice 1 frame per second.
And look, I completely understand like artists' intent and the way you want things to be paced. Like I understand that, but if it is meaning more people can enjoy something and it's an option.
Yeah.
Then I think it's a good
Yeah,
thing.
and the spokesperson said, we've also been mindful of the concerns of some creators. It's why we've capped the range of playback speeds and required members to vary the speed each time they watch something new. So you can't be like, I'm going to watch this as 8 times speed.
Yeah. But that's what I'm going to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some Marvel news, television news?
Yes.
Good, because this is from the Illuminati. Been popping up a lot lately, but apparently Hailee Steinfeld has signed on for Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye series.
Okay, so she's the second Hawkeye.
That's right.
Is she Hawkeye's apprentice? Or maybe at some point she is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
but
cool.
not daughter.
Yep, that's right.
Headband sometimes.
Yes.
To keep the hair out of you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Shooting
Yeah.
arrows, yeah. I also saw that Hawkeye was revealed for Marvel's Avengers, that video game, which is having
that's
a beta
right,
this
yeah.
week. On an unrelated topic, I played a popular video game that's coming out.
You can't say what it is.
Can't say what it is.
For contractual reasons, you're not allowed to say the name of the video game, but let's just say...
I can't say the name of it.
Let's just say one of the characters looks a little bit too much like Billy Ray Cyrus for comfort for me. And he says y'all.
That's right, Rock Band. It's back.
Where Rock Band's
Billy
back.
Ray Cyrus
That's
edition.
right. It's Old Town Road, the game.
That's
It's
right.
just, yeah.
So I might have a video on it. I might not. We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
But back to Hawkeye. What do you think of the casting?
Good.
Yeah.
I
mean, she was rumored a while back.
Well, I mean,
think.
Hailee Steinfeld is also a character. She's a
She's
real character.
mate. She's a real character.
She's done a lot of stuff that I have no idea, that it's completely out of my wheelhouse. Like I know I enjoyed her in True Grit.
Yeah, Edge
and
of 17.
I didn't say that. Bumblebee, I enjoyed her in Bumblebee.
Yeah, me too.
And she's does pop music as well, I think.
She was in one of the Pitch Perfects.
Oh, was she? I must have seen that.
She's in
'cause
2 and 3.
I've seen all the Pitch Perfect movies, so there you go.
There you
Right.
go.
I think she also appears briefly in the new Charlie's Angels.
Oh, okay.
She's in maybe I've seen a lot of her work. Anyway, but anyway, she's all over the place doing stuff, like her work generally. So that's good.
She's a recruit as a cameo appearance. So
There
it
we
must
go.
have been for like the next one. She's also, of course, in Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, she's doing a lot of stuff. She's a pop star as well. She's done
Yes.
some singing stuff. There you go.
Good on her.
Oh, Ender's Game. Remember that movie? I saw that on one of my streaming services the other day, and I'm like, that's interesting. I'm never going to watch that movie ever again. But somebody made it, and I'm just like, whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is what life is like now, isn't
Actually, I
it?
didn't mind it. It was Gavin Hood who was forced to make X-Men Origins Wolverine at gunpoint.
Explain that to me, son.
Remember how he made like the X-Men movie, but it wasn't really his fault because that movie was a nightmare and all the producers and people behind the scenes were ruining it.
Here's the thing. I am well on board with X-Men Origins Wolverine being an awful movie, but I don't know any of the behind the scenes of that. That's fascinating.
Yeah, they
to
had
me.
like guys come down and like repaint sets in the night, like and change things.
Really?
on it, and
Wow.
like,
So he'd be like, this set should be grey, and they're like, it should be brown, so let's fix it later.
It's essentially things like
That's
that.
fascinating.
So there you go. So he has made good things, but yeah, that was kind of unfair. Also, I didn't mind Ender's Game, to be fair.
I have not seen it.
Yeah.
Just the...
It's about shooting ants or something.
Okay, good. One of the many reasons that X-Men Origins Wolverine is bad because it does feel very much like made by committee.
Yeah.
Like, what are people like? People like cool guys walking away from explosions. So
That's
let's put that in
Or
unironically.
like Fables about the moon or something.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that
right.
bit?
Yeah.
You see, there was that X-Men article this week. It was about Bryan Singer in the early days of X-Men and how he got to be able to get away with all these things for so long because...
Like being a creep.
Being a creep and also not showing up on set and being a real prick. And Halle Berry, like they all confronted him in his trailer at one
Oh,
point.
I did see that, yeah. Because there was a stunt
In
went wrong.
costume.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Waggling their rubber
Yeah, he
claws at
basically
him.
moved his stunt forward and they weren't prepared for it. And it was a very dangerous situation. And
right.
Yeah, well, he's awful. Like, that's
And how did he get away with this? Because he was
Because
just...
the studio were like, it's fine because these make money, essentially.
Yeah,
That's
right,
what it came down to. But then the less successful they were and the less like critically and commercially, but then they were like, well, actually, he's,
Yeah. Well, actually, we're against what he does now that it's not bringing any
But
cash.
people knew like he'd bring like people to set, like there's all these allegations of like grooming and these strange parties with underage boys and all these other like things that went on, and it's really quite terrible. So anyway, fuck that guy.
Yep.
And everything he's ever done, even the good stuff. Courtney Cox is back for Scream 5.
Oh, not Friends, but it's just Courtney Cox this time.
That's right. Oh, Chandler.
Courtney, it's...
Chandler had an aneurysm. It's just that's sad, isn't it?
Yeah. Friends, everyone's dead but Monica.
And,
Okay, what's she back for? I was not paying
Scream.
attention. Oh,
How many Screams have you seen?
One?
Really?
I think so. You
haven't seen
I missed that somehow as well.
2 with Timothy Olyphant.
Nope.
3 with other people. Jane Silent Bob are in 3.
I've seen... Is it Jay and Silent Bob or like the weird...
They're a cameo in it.
Oh, okay, so it's not two Jay and Silent Bob alikes like
I
in
think
Freddy
there was-
versus Jason.
No, I think there was supposed to be maybe a crossover Jay and Silent Bob Scream movie at some point. There might have been talk of that.
That's why they're in Freddy versus Jason. There's the two stoners that are very, very similar to Jay and Silent Bob.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Scream 5, Wes Craven isn't back.
I've seen Scream and I've seen Scary Movie.
Yeah,
So I've seen
You've seen it enough.
So I've seen Scream and then a movie that satirizes all the tropes of all the Scream movies. Bearing in mind, I haven't seen most of them, so that's
But
good.
you've seen we saw most of the scary movies, didn't we? Because I remember we kept seeing them, even though we didn't like them.
Yeah, I've
We
seen
got
a
to
lot.
like 5, maybe.
Is there 5 of those?
Maybe, yeah. Leslie
Maybe.
Nielsen's the president or something.
Oh, I have
and they
seen.
also
Yeah,
just
yeah, that's
become
right.
Whatever. They're not actually scary movies.
That's right, because they started out as a scary movie, as a Scream parody, and then they just became like Zucker Brothers airplane
and it's just
style
like,
movies.
I don't know, we're doing signs, I guess.
Yeah,
just like
the president. Leslie Nielsen's the president, and he's farting a lot in Air Force One or whatever. Yeah,
So it's just whatever at that point. But yeah, there's I remember there's a $1 Million Baby parody in it where people keep falling onto stools and breaking their necks.
Oh my
Remember
god.
the,
yeah.
boxing
Okay,
ring?
vaguely, yeah.
I've seen all 4. I think 1 and 2 are particularly good. The other 2 are fine, I think. But the Ready or Not directors are doing this new one because Wes Craven.
Oh,
has passed.
that's that horror movie that you like.
It's great. You should really watch.
Okay,
Ready
I'm
or
gonna
Not.
write it down.
Yeah. So please check it out. It's on one of the streaming services.
Ooh, I love
think
all this. I love the
think
streaming
saw it
services.
there on one of them the other day. So that's exciting.
Turns out there is a website that tells you what's on everything. It's called Just Watch.
Yeah, but which country?
No, there's an Australian version.
Oh my
Well,
God!
it
Is
works.
it justwatch.com.au/snags on a Barbie?
It's justwatch.com/au/snags on a Barbie.
Okay, good. Terrific stuff. In another news,
Yes.
because I love news.
I'm ready for news. Wait, what do you think's going to happen with Courtney Cox? Why is it just Courtney Cox assigned onto
I
this?
think they're all back.
I was gonna
David
say, yeah.
Arquette's back. I think Neve Campbell's back. Yeah. Jamie
Nice.
Kennedy's back. Just kidding. He died in one of them.
Is Matthew Lillard in some of them?
Which one's he again? Which one's Matthew?
Shaggy.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's in the first one.
Okay, right.
Without spoiling any of those movies about who dies or who's anything.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Skeet Ulrich is in some of them.
Oh, Skeet Ulrich.
Skeet Ulrich. So there you go. It's funny because those movies were so like hot and topical at the time.
Yeah.
And they were lampooning like the movies of the 80s of like your Halloweens and whatever.
Yeah.
But now there's been as much time, if not more, passed between the first Scream and now as there was between Scream and like Halloween.
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
very true. And we've sort of, and again, we're not horror movie guys, but we're trope guys certainly.
We love tropes.
We don't mind.
We love scary movies.
We don't mind
The scary
we
movie
don't mind
movies.
taking a cliche or a catchphrase and just driving it into the ground.
So people just want
like
to
a tram.
listen on double speed. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
So,
Yeah.
but we've sort of we've reached a point where every movie is self-referential to itself and everything that came before. Like every MCU movie is like, can you believe we're fighting these aliens? What do we? What do you?
I can't believe it. I
You know?
can believe it.
Yeah, I
because
can
I've
also
been
believe it.
watching
Yeah,
the
yeah. But
movies.
and you know. So what is this? What are these movies going to be? And if they're just going to be like, now you know the rules of a horror movie are like this. Yeah, we do. Because every movie explains it like that, ironically.
Yeah, that's
so
true at this point. Yeah,
so
what do you do with it?
Is
Yeah.
it super earnest now? What is it going to be?
I don't know. I mean, I like those Ready or Not guys. So
Yeah.
I think you can't just do like, well, the rules of a reboot are. It's like, because also I think they did that already
Yeah,
in like
probably.
2011.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the take is, but I don't know. What do you do? Because I don't want like, well, in a reboot you bring back some original characters and you kill some of them. Like,
Do you
Star
do
Wars or whatever.
Wes Craven's A New Nightmare, where it's Courtney Cox playing Courtney Cox and Matthew Lillard
that's not a
playing
bad
Matthew
idea.
Lillard, and the real Matthew Lillard is murdered?
So you could bring back actors who were in the franchise but had been killed,
yeah.
or revealed as the killers.
And they're on a Zoom meeting to
Enough with the Zoom.
No,
bullshit,
James,
mate.
hear me out.
I cannot.
Hear me out,
if I
James.
see another show that's like,
All right.
imagine the show that you love, but all the characters are doing a Zoom. I don't want to see another fucking Zoom meeting.
It's just all the people you love, except they're all really old now and not wearing any makeup and out of costume. They're just wearing old sweatshirts. They've all got earbuds in, and they're just reading.
I don't want to borrow
That being said, I did watch some of the Edgar Wright, Scott Pilgrim cast.
Actually, that's
cast
a
read
different
along. It was fun.
situation. But I'm talking like a show where it's like, can you believe this pandemic? And
Oh
whatever.
yeah, no, that's right.
The Mythic Quest did a good one.
Oh, yeah.
on Apple TV. I'd say watch that one if you found that show. But
Right. So I was going to say, what about it's all the characters, they're prepping for like a scary movie reunion.
Ooh.
And they're like, we're all going to do a table reading, a cast reading, we're all having a grand time, and then they're all getting killed.
it could be called Scary Reunion.
Oh, that's right, these movies are called Scream, aren't they?
No, you call it Scary Reunion.
Scary reunion.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's right.
Nice.
That's a brilliant idea, Mason.
Thank you.
I wouldn't mind that real word thing though. I think that'd be interesting. Yeah. Okay, The Witch is getting a prequel on Netflix. It's called Blood Origin.
Okay.
It's a
Blood Orange Origin.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You've had a Blood Orange anything?
Yeah.
Always good.
Always good. I like
What
a Blood
is
Orange.
it?
Yeah.
What is it about them?
Get a
It's a
see
real-
if I was on the the Italian Riviera right
Sure.
now, I'd be drinking a blood orange
You'd be like,
an
"Throw me a Blood
aranciata.
Orange."
I'd be
A guy
drinking a San Pellegrino aranciata.
They throw you a Blood Orange, you can
Yes.
squeeze into it.
Exactly.
Just a slice.
Yeah.
It's a 6-part prequel about the first Witcher who lived before the Elven civilization fell 1,200 years ago or something.
Okay. Right.
I didn't even know there was an Elven civilization in that universe. I've forgotten everything about it.
Okay. Did you watch the entire
I
thing?
did. Did I? Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I think so.
I watched one episode.
It's good, I think. It's not like amazing.
Okay.
But it's pretty solid. And
All
it
right.
gets more interesting as it goes. But the timeline is a bit unnecessarily confusing, I found.
Well, why not add a 1,200-year prequel then? That'll make things less confusing.
And then
What do you
intercut
think
it.
will make this different? Do you think it'll be
characters.
like, well, the technology's slightly less advanced.
Yes.
The wells are dirtier.
The wells are dirty. More elves. Elven. It says before the Elven civilization fell. Elves.
The Felvin situation.
Elven civilization. So there you go. You excited for Witcher Blood Origin?
Nope.
Do you know it's based on a video game?
Oh, then I'm back in.
People are actually writing their tweets right now.
Oh, you're messing with them because this is based on the books or something.
But, well, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all based on books.
Yeah.
Because I know when we've talked about them in videos, people are like, don't you know they're actually based on books? I'm sorry I didn't mention literally everything. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
In the last video we did for Caravan of Garbage.
It's fun. You know what we should do? We should figure out whatever the lamest tie-in is to The Witcher, and then we say it's based on that. Be like, this TV show's based on a line of Funko Pops. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt
Yeah,
Funko Pops.
that's
Did you know
right,
I love
yeah.
them? I'm a big fan since back in the day.
We should get the franchise wrong to be like, it's based on the Cimmerillion, the Witcher's Cimmerillion. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. We mentioned, I accidentally cut it out.
Did you know this entire show is based on a Burger King meal? It's called the Witch Whopper. The Witch Whopper. Do you remember the Angry Whopper?
What was it?
It was
It
a
had, like,
Hulk. It was the
hot
Hulk
sauce in it,
tie-in.
right?
It was called the Angry Whopper. Just had
It
hot.
had like a fist.
No, it was just hot sauce on it. That was it.
Great.
And there was the Dark Whopper, which was Batman themed. That-
Might have the black bun, didn't it?
No, yeah, maybe. Yeah,
There was one with a black bun.
Yeah, it was probably the
recently.
Dark Whopper. They'll do anything. Hungry Jack / Burger King. They'll ally themselves with any franchise.
They'll microwave their burgers.
Yeah. Anyway, Witch Whopper. The Witch Whopper.
Yeah, so in the recent Transformers video, I accidentally trimmed out the bit because I send over the video edit to Ben.
Oh, yes.
Because I edited it twice. It doesn't matter. It's either here or there. But I edited out the bit where we mentioned that Leonard Nimoy was the voice of Galvatron. So Ben was kind enough to put in the footage and write Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, well, okay, that's good.
There were still comments of like, did you know that Leonard Nimoy was the voice of Galvatron in the 80s? Yes, I did. I think I pinned a comment just to be like,
Nice.
yes, I know.
Did you know this entire franchise was based around some toys that you could get at McDonald's Happy Meal? It was a little burger and it turned into a robot man.
Do you remember those?
Yeah, I had some of those.
I was
had a
really
fries
disappointed
one.
when I saw them in real life because I thought they were like the size of an actual burger, but they're like teeny tiny.
Also, you went into the McDonald's like full of hope and joy, like you were going to get
I didn't go to many McDonald's when I was a kid. Did you? I wasn't really. My mum was one of those like mums who were like, "We're gonna make our own McDonald's." I'm like, "No, you can't. What are you even talking about?" You know, there's that famous Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Not that we never got it, Mason. Don't get me wrong.
All right, cool. You
also,
wanted to
don't
deprive
eat it because it's terrible. It's clean though.
I say definitely eat it. Eat all the McDonald's you want.
Sure. No, don't. Don't do that. You'll die.
It's good.
Universal. This
When was the last time you had a good quarter pounder, James? Oh my God, this is so
I don't
good.
eat quarter pounders. I get a double cheeseburger. I find the quarter pounders a bit much.
All right.
In terms of breadage, even.
Oh yeah, I understand because there's
Breadage is
more
too
bread.
thick,
Yeah.
Yeah. Universal have struck a deal with AMC to give the option of a 17-day release window. So Universal, say with their Fast and Furious and their Trolls franchise. Remember AMC were like, we'll never work with you again.
Oh, because AMC run theaters as well.
Yes.
In addition to being a channel.
Correct. Are they a channel?
Yeah, AMC. That's Mad Men and everything.
Yeah,
Breaking Bad is on AMC, I think.
I don't know.
In America.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
You're going to cut all this out, aren't you?
No, I'm not like Collins' Eddie.
Okay, right.
He'll make me sound good in the edit.
Great.
He'll make me say, I know everything about AMC.
Oh, he's good. And
I'll
you're
say
good.
that up top of the
Nice.
the show. So that means the VOD titles become VOD for $19.99 and AMC then get a 10% split of that.
Okay, but first they go to theaters.
But it's the option of 17 days.
Okay,
it doesn't
right.
have to be 17 days.
Okay.
So like if they want Fast and Furious to run for 4 months or whatever, they can do that.
Yeah, right.
But the thing is the other movie chains and other companies like Disney and whatever are not happy with this because they're like, you're shortening the release window on these things. Which means that like the other chains would have to then agree to also that 17-day window.
Oh, it's like a race to the bottom kind of thing. Yeah, right.
And I don't think that they would, which would mean that I guess AMC would be the only people who could have these movies in theaters, I assume.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's just Universal. This isn't,
Yeah, it's just Universal.
So it's just Dark Universe
Yeah,
movies.
so it's, pretty much. So it's not, well, they do other things, but it's not a great, I mean, it's good for like us, say, for example, because you get things quicker, but it's a horrible business model for everybody else.
Yeah.
Because also theaters rely so much on food.
Yeah,
and
that's
everything
true.
else.
In fact, everyone relies a lot on food.
I rely on it every day. I have some food.
That's right, yeah.
Some to none.
But I mean, look,
Or some.
fingers crossed this isn't the end of this isn't forever. So fingers crossed whatever arrangement this will be easing up sooner rather than later.
If it even is possible. Because it seems like at the moment it's an option. It's not like a
you must do this.
That will happen. But things aren't getting better. So I think people are just looking the ways to make money. But if you look also like it would be understandable that Disney and other companies like Warner Media and whatever, they don't want this because they have their own streaming platforms. So if they didn't want to release something in cinemas, they have the option to put it out on this huge platform.
That's true, yeah.
And so, but I guess Universal don't really have that. I mean, they have Peacock, I think.
They have NBC's the Peacock.
Yeah, but nobody has that. Do you know what I mean? So they need...
Well, they will as soon as we get David Schwimmer as a spy or a politician or whatever that show is that's coming out that we did an ad for that. I don't know.
Ad for that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... I don't know. I think it's the most interesting thing to me is going to be what the release day window is going to look like. Because it used to be so long before something came to VHS when we were kids. It was like 8 months. And now it's like, and then, to rent it for a night, it would cost an exorbitant amount of money, I remember. But yeah, I don't know. These windows are getting shorter and shorter. And the movie theater landscape will evolve. We just don't know what it's going to look like at the moment. Yeah. And it looks like, I don't know what's going to happen with Tenet either.
Yes.
Where it looks like in Victoria we're going down to even more lockdowns here.
That's true.
So I hope not, but probably.
Look, maybe somebody can smuggle out a cam for us and we can watch it.
Please.
Yeah.
don't care.
Make our own popcorn at home.
Grand pop. It's not the same, but
No,
we'll
it's
do
absolutely yeah, it's true. We'll do it if we have to. We'll see what happens.
That's right.
Yeah. Maybe VOD will go down to like, Blockbuster in its last days. Well, they'll be like, you want 8 movies for $8?
Yeah.
You want 8 weeklies?
Maybe.
We'll do it.
It might be. I know. I just think these streaming services, there is a saturation point for it, isn't there?
Yeah.
It really is.
Like you mentioned Mythic Quest. I'm like, I still haven't got Apple TV. Do I want to get Apple
but
TV?
the only reason I have it is because I got a new phone.
Oh, and they gave it to you for free.
Then you get it free for you. But then I see like Tom Hanks's Greyhound, and I'm like, I'm literally never going to watch that in my entire life. But then I saw like...
Is that another... He's a ship captain?
He's a ship captain for America in World War II.
Nice.
Look at our Jerry's...
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Jerry's have to watch out.
Yeah, apparently it's fine from all accounts.
Okay, good.
But then there was Finding Jacob on there, which I really liked. That Chris Evans one. Okay, Star Wars news?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I like this new enthusiastic Star Wars news guy.
For now.
Ooh, you can definitely push through into hating it again. Basically.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a cycle, isn't it?
Ron Howard says there's no Solo sequel planned. So, what do you think of that?
Well, that frees him up to be in the potential Lando series.
Yes.
Have him pop in every once in a while.
But also there was rumors this week of like there's this Lando series, there's a Solo spin-off series. And Ron Howard was talking about how it's kind of fun to be the director of this kind of cult Star Wars hit, which is what Solo's kind of become.
Yeah, right.
It does have this fan base. I don't love it.
Yeah.
But not to say that I wouldn't see a sequel series to this.
What if we get a Lando series and Han Solo's the sidekick?
Yeah.
People would be so upset.
Would they though?
I think a lot of people would be upset. Certain people would be very upset. Yeah.
I don't know if they... Yeah, you're probably right. Everyone's upset.
Yeah,
Sometimes when something like that happens, and I think no one would care.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh no, everyone cares about this. I misjudged this.
Like, can you imagine it's Lando front and center on the poster.
I know Landon.
Han Solo's at the side.
Yeah.
I would like it. I would enjoy it very
And it's
much.
the back of his head. He's not even facing the camera.
And he's Lando's butler because he's been sentenced to be Lando's butler because of his crimes.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
So in other news, though, the Obi Wan series is apparently casting a young Luke and Leia, 80 years old.
Oh.
So there you go. What do you think of that?
Yep.
Yeah, you do. That's what you think.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
So they'd be on separate planets though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She'd be on, they'd be on different things.
Okay, good. Just checking, yeah.
Just checking, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they'd give her the hair? Because you have to. Otherwise, you don't recognize her.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
That's
you're
how
right.
it works.
Yeah.
Everybody has the same haircut their entire life.
That's true.
Yeah. No, she had other haircuts, didn't she?
Yeah.
Braids as well in other movies.
Because she could also just wear, the white. It's just white dresses all day.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, yeah.
The belt, maybe.
And then little Luke will be wearing the Jake Lloyd's outfit from Phantom Menace.
But you don't think
Just recycle that.
No, I think he'd be wearing the little moisture farmer outfit that he had in the first Star Wars.
Aren't they the same? Aren't they basically
it's like
the
a
same?
billowy blousey kind of.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Look, there'll be plenty of billowy blouses.
How are his whites so white? How does that work?
Good
I mean, I know
question.
he's the hero, but
Yeah.
he's a
Oh, that reminds me. This is completely unrelated, but a couple of weeks ago, I think I mentioned that Eddie Pepitone's stand-up special is on Amazon.
Yeah.
For the masses.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, it's really good. It's very funny, but it's got my favorite Eddie Pepitone sketch bit of all time, which is called how'd you keep the shirt so fresh? And it's just it's at the end. People should watch it. Just get to that.
Does he throw it as like a here you go, kind of like this is my bit? That
No, I think it's just I don't know. It's just part of his. Just
Did you
part
do
of
that
his
when
set.
he came out here?
Yeah, he did.
I might
Yeah,
have seen
so it's
that.
kind of an old one, but it's always relevant.
Okay,
And
good.
It's very grim, but it's good.
But
But how do they keep the shirt so fresh?
I don't know.
On Tatooine.
They don't even have that much water. They must wash it in sand.
Perfect.
Thanks. Do you want
Maybe you put it in a sarlacc.
But how do you get it out? String.
Fishing roll. Yeah, a bit of string. You put it in there and it's acids.
Yeah.
Keep your shirt so fresh.
Okay. Is that how Boba Fett got out?
Yes, he pulled out all the string. He waited for somebody to do a load of whites, and he just grabbed onto him, and then he got out of there. Yeah,
And he looked so fresh when he came out.
so fresh.
So crisp.
Yeah.
Well, that was the original Boba Fett had a white armor. I don't know if you've ever seen like the prototype.
Oh no,
That's
I
it.
don't think I have.
Yeah. Never even mind or worry about it. Variety and listen first. Here's some numbers.
Here's a side note for you.
I love side notes.
You know the guy
Yeah.
that did all the Star Wars art.
Ralph McQuarrie.
Thank you. Did he do stuff for any other franchises?
Yeah, he did. I can't remember what, but yes.
What's that movie that was it was meant to be a Star Wars competitor, The Black Hole?
Which one? There was like that one that was like the Magnificent Seven, but it was space.
Oh yes, The Magnificent Spevin.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, he did E.T. Here we go. I've got a bunch of Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek, a bunch of stuff.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so there you go.
I'm glad he did.
Me too.
Because he does good work, that guy. He really did.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. Did. Yeah, he worked on the prequels as well. So, yeah, there you go. Oh, do you want the filmography? I could do it for you if you want just quickly.
Ruff and Quarry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Back to the Future, The Ride, Nightbreed, Batteries Not Included.
I like Nightbreed.
Star
That was
Trek
weird.
For the Voyage Home, Cocoon, Return of the Jedi, E.T., Raiders, Empire, Holiday Special. That's right, there is a picture on there. Battlestar Galactica 1978, Close Encounters, and the original Star Wars. That's big stuff, big names.
Big stuff, big names.
Anyway, Variety, and listen first. They're talking about Comic-Con and how it performed in 2020.
Okay.
Comic-Con tweets are down 95% from 2019.
Oh, so this is, I guess you can't really get viewership numbers for this, really. But
Actually, I can. And I have those too.
Somebody's ahead of the curve. But yeah, I guess a lot of the success of Comic-Con is people putting out, tweets of like, I'm here and I'm wearing a backpack and I'm in a line. Woo!
And that's how they
Hashtag Comic-Con.
And it's also like a lot of the entertainment reporters you'd follow, they're live tweeting the Batman Superman panel or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And, I don't know about you, but I'm like watching the feed to see what's going to happen next. But
there's a new Alfred. He's here.
Yay!
Exactly.
It's Andy Serkis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's so last year it was 1,719,000 tweets about Comic-Con, and this year there was 93,681.
Oh.
But so and the average YouTube view for their panels was 15,000.
That seems low.
It's very low.
That seems equivalent to the number of people who would be in that theater at the time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Probably more, but
it's true.
It's still. I mean, you also need to look at it from. It's an unfair comparison because of the reveals that they were able to have, and I think there were some really good panels, but when there were no reveals, there wasn't the hype. A lot of people didn't even know it was on.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, it's just not. It's kind of unfair to look at these two things like that.
For sure, yeah.
But that's how it kind of went in the terms of Comic-Con.
That's
you looking
right.
forward to Comic-Con next year?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Comic-Con new virus. See what the new virus is next year?
I don't want there to be a new virus.
There might be, though.
No, I don't want that.
We're not even finished with this one yet.
Oh
Can't
my
we at least finish
God,
our current virus?
Please.
Before we get a new virus?
Sooner rather than later. I want two viruses running at the same time. I'm actually against that.
Apparently flu's down this year, though, big time.
Huh.
So that's good. Take that, flu.
Yeah, that's right.
Watch me get the flu now that I've said that.
He's literally getting the flu as we speak. Look at him. He's clogging up.
Wearing down, yeah. Just before we do the thing for this week, Caravan of Garbage is back this week. We are sticking with Transformers.
That's true, yeah. We've decided to push through.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, people decided that we pushed through.
That's more accurate, yes.
If you go to bigsandwich.co, it's going to be up there early. Maybe even earlier than normal early because Ben says he's quite ahead. But then again, things happen and maybe he won't be ahead, but it will still be ahead.
Sometimes life gets in the way.
That's right. Like a big second virus.
Yeah. Oh,
Didn't expect.
James, no.
I'm not going to get the flu. I'm getting it right now. Look at me.
Yeah. In fact, as you said that, I could see flu molecules go into your mouth. So, yeah.
Good old gravy.
Any big proclamations about whether or not you're going to get a flu, just draw in more.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, we're going to do, little preview for the listeners of the podcast because you're all better than the viewers who watch it on YouTube.
What a bag of shit.
Exactly. little peek behind the curtain. That's what we think.
Yeah.
We're going to do Transformers 4. We're going to do The Last Night. And we're not going to do Bumblebee because we talked about it on this podcast at length and also it's better than the other ones.
Yeah.
So it's the movie that they should have been. All the others should have been.
I need a break.
Yeah. Yeah. What are we going to say? It's nice that they all look like they were supposed to look like originally.
I don't think it's a perfect film, but it makes me so angry at the start of that movie, Bumblebee, that 5 minutes on Cybertron. I remember sitting in theaters and just being like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, we could have had this the entire time.
Yeah, right.
And you've given us, oh, God. Yeah, anyway, for another time. HelloFresh offers so many recipes to choose from each week to help break you out of your recipe rut that you're definitely in, Mason.
I am 100% in a recipe rut, so I would appreciate some HelloFresh. Thank you.
Good, because there's something for everybody, including low-calorie, vegetarian, family-friendly. New recipes every week.
I'm everyone.
That's right.
So there's recipes for me in there.
You're everyone and you're every week.
And the listeners are also everyone.
Every week.
This is perfect for me and them.
Correct. HelloFresh's pre-proportioned ingredients.
Tough to say, but not tough to enjoy.
Tough to enjoy. Means there's less prep for you and less food waste, which is great. We've talked about this before, but like you get a little sachet of a thing and you're like, I don't want like a big jar of this that I never use. Little sachet, mate.
Sachet.
Yeah. And you can easily
Sachet to the kitchen and open a little sachet.
you can easily change your delivery days or food preferences and skip a week whenever you need. Here's something I thought you might enjoy, Mason, because I
Go
know
on.
I do. Vietnamese pork tacos with cucumber, carrot, and lemon may.
That does sound. What was the last bit?
It says lemon may. I left the O off. Just lemon may. It's supposed to be
may?
lemon mayo. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that does sound good. Yeah.
Yeah, it is really good.
Oh, I love a citrusy mayo.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. So yeah, you go through the recipe, see what's there. There's a plethora.
Yes.
Plethora. Is that
We're
how it's
learning,
said?
we're learning all sorts of new words in this
Agreed.
ad, which is great.
And here's the thing, Mason. If you go to hellofresh.com/80 Weekly Planet and use offer code 80 Weekly Planet.
At 80 Weekly Planet.
That's 80, that's right, all one word. You can get a total of $80 off, including free shipping on your first box. Additional restrictions apply. Please visit hellofresh.com for more details. But that's hellofresh.com/80 Weekly Planet, as in 80, and use code 80 Weekly Planet to get a total of $80 off,
That's a tremendous discount.
including free shipping on your first box. So there you go. Check them out if you
Very
could.
satisfying putting together a nice
Just get a
meal.
little
You
thing, doesn't even
plate
take you
it
that
up,
long.
And then you put it there and you're like, oh my God.
That's right. And they're like 20, 30 minutes. It's easy to do,
I'm
mate.
a genius, you say to yourself.
That's what you say to yourself, but really you're not a genius. HelloFresh is a genius, and they make you feel like a genius. But just to be clear, Mason, you're not a genius.
I mean, jury's still out, but you know.
You're not. Let's
All right.
just...
Fine.
All right, link below if you want to check it out. Mason, before we got the Umbrella Academy, I heard you've got some T-shirts for sale.
I don't have any T-shirts for sale, James.
Then let's
Not
move on.
currently. No, I know, but there are T-shirts for sale in
I
life.
was going to say, surely somebody's got some T-shirts
Yeah,
for sale.
we can make that happen, obviously. So, but specifically,
Mm.
a friend of the show, Christopher Small, who people might know on Instagram or Twitter as @Weekly Planet Posters.
That's right.
On Instagram, he's Weekly Planet Posters, and he works tirelessly to make realistic looking posters of terrible movies that we invent,
Yes.
or of real movies that we don't remember the name of, and just say whatever, and then he turns them into real posters.
You'll do a real art attack in that way.
Yeah, exactly. I get that reference now when you explained it so
Don't get
evocatively.
it. You
earlier.
don't get it.
No,
You're
I
not
get
one
it.
of us.
Oh man, this is a real art attack
I'm
on
gatekeeping
me.
art attack.
Good stuff. Anyway, he's got a new T-shirt. He purchased a T-shirt. He's wearing it right now.
Wow.
But also, he's got T-shirts for sale. If you go to his Instagram profile, Weekly Planet Posters, he made some Robat and Battinbat T-shirts in the style of your 1960s Batman T-shirt.
That's right.
And they look real nice. You can get a regular one. You can get a distressed logo version.
Yes.
I think they're on TeePublic. But if you go to his Instagram page, you click. There's a link in his bio.
Money doesn't go to us; it goes to him. Just so you know, we're not like, hey, he made this thing and we've got it.
Yeah,
So check it out if you want. I think
they're
it's a
real
great
good.
design,
I think I'll try
yeah.
and get one of those.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And you'd be supporting good T-shirts everywhere, wouldn't you?
That's right.
Terrific. Umbrella Academy season 2. We'll do some non-spoilers, but
Yeah.
there'll be some elements that we'll have to talk about because
Yeah.
there was a big cliffhanger at the end of the last season.
Did you watch the last season?
Yeah,
You
did
did.
you?
Okay.
Did you?
Yeah. We
did an episode on it with Charles Clausen.
Did we talk about
Charles
it?
Clausen
I feel like we
came.
didn't talk about it at as much length as we could have.
Okay.
But we should. We'll really dig in on this.
Do you want to recap then the last season?
Oh my god. Okay. So James.
Ready?
James. Here's the thing though. Also, I'd like to recap it for people, but I feel like straight off the bat, if you haven't seen the first season of this, I feel like the second season will make little to no sense.
We don't even bother.
You'll be completely lost. I think if you're like, oh, I've heard about this, I've heard it's good, you should start from the start.
Yes.
But basically, there are, in the late 80s, on a single day, a bunch of children were all born at exactly the same time around the world, like the same moment, from women who were not pregnant initially. They just became pregnant straight away and then gave birth to these children. And there was an eccentric billionaire who went around the world and purchased as many of these children as he could. And he gets 7 of them?
Something like that.
You get 7 of them, and then they all begin to exhibit strange powers. And he is a horrible, cruel, mean man.
Yep.
And rather than giving them names, he just gives them numbers according to their usefulness to him.
Yes.
And he sort of builds them up together as like a junior superhero team called the Umbrella Academy.
A little X-Men team.
Little X-Men kind of team.
They got little
And
masks.
then they all grow up and they all leave because he's horrible and they don't get along. And then he dies. And then in season 1, they all reconvene for his funeral. Mm-hmm. And then they all have to do world-saving stuff.
But they don't.
They don't, yeah.
Because the world ends at the end.
Spoilers for season 1 of that.
Yeah.
But,
So it's building to this apocalypse.
Yes.
It's got great performances. Everybody's really good in it.
I think so
the
too, yeah.
It's cast really, really well.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
are fun, some are mean.
Yep.
One's a big gorilla.
One's a small child.
That's right.
I keep forgetting he's a child.
It's so bizarre
Yeah, I
because
forget-
he's so convincingly an old man.
Like
stuck
I
in
assume he's slightly older than
I think he's like 18.
okay, because he's supposed to be 13 in the show.
Yeah.
One of the characters, for people who don't know, they all exhibit strange powers. One of them,
He's 16. Sorry,
16,
so
right.
he's not that old.
What's his
yeah.
name? Aiden something.
His name's Aiden Gallagher.
Okay, so one of the characters, he has the ability to travel through space, like he can teleport.
Yep.
And he attempts a number of times to travel through time, and through various machinations, he's ended up stuck in his 13-year-old self's body. He became an old man, but then he sort of the time travelers reverted him back to being a 13-year-old. But yeah, he does. I keep forgetting he is an actual child actor because he acts like an old man. Yeah,
it's weird. They're all in real life. The actors, I'm just looking. They're all born around the same time as well, except for the child one.
Yeah, right.
But they're all like early 30s, 31. Alan Page might be the oldest at like 33.
Yeah, right. They attempted to avert this apocalypse, but they've managed to go back in time to the early 1960s.
Well, they didn't. Did you say avert?
I said avert.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And they've
they
brought,
don't stop it.
But they've somehow brought some kind of apocalypse with them because they've number 5, the time travel kid, has seen slightly further into the future than them, and he's discovered that there's going to be the timeline's ruined and the world's going to end.
Yep.
Very soon, and they've got to band together
and
through.
It's like, is it their fault? Is there somebody else there doing this?
Mm-hmm.
What is going? And of course, there is this time police society, like Time Cop,
the commission, yes,
who their job is to write the timeline, and eliminate anything that kind of breaks from it. That being said, it's corrupt. It's
corrupt, so we don't know what
what's even supposed to be.
Yeah, we don't know. In the previous season, this apocalypse that was approaching, it was considered to be inevitable.
Yeah.
They're like, well, it's going to happen, so you don't attempt to avert this because you'll ruin the timeline. And in this season, they're like, yeah, well, it's a grey area kind of thing.
Whatever.
So,
They are very clearly self-serving.
Yes, exactly.
And all of that. But so
so this show's wild.
It's absolutely it's out of its mind, mate. In a good way. It did take me even though I watched the recap, it did take me a bit to be like, who's who and what's what again.
Yes,
It took me a bit. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that guy's dead. I forgot that he's a ghost. But that's a good pairing off those two. The ghost and the regular man.
Yeah, so we have Klaus who can commune with the dead, and the one member of the Umbrella Academy who died as a child, who is still Ben, who is still alive. He's a spirit now, and they have to team up. So what we have here is we have the series starts out. They've all arrived in Dallas, Texas in the early 60s, but all in slightly different years.
Yes.
A couple arrived in 1960, 1961, 1962. Yep. So they're all kind of on their own for a significant amount. They all wonder if the others are dead, and they try and find it, but of course the others haven't arrived yet, and so it's kind of this it's a real schmozzle, as they would call it.
It's in a period of time where the people that they are do not fit that era.
Yes, exactly.
They get involved with various movements and things that are going on, and obviously Alan Page's character is a gay character, which contradicts like a lot of the values that were at the time. And I found a lot of the best story beats for me were putting somebody from the modern day in that era, and then butting heads with that, but also not being able to. You can't even explain yourself and reason your way through it. Do you know what
that's
I mean?
true. Yeah, it's interesting
really
because some of the like we've got some very serious plot threads rolling through this, and some very serious issues covered. But there's also some wacky.
Yeah.
And some characters sort of ride the line between serious and wacky.
Totally.
Like Klaus and Ben's story is pretty much wacky the whole way through.
He's built himself into this. I guess like a nice Charles Manson, I guess would be the way to...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Is this cult figure who has some knowledge of the future, and because he can commune with ghosts, he can make them lift him so he can float and stuff. So they think he's essentially Jesus.
And Alison Hargreaves, Emmy Raver Lampman, she's black, and so she gets involved in the early civil rights movement, and that's very serious, and it covers actual real life events, and she's sort of riding the line of, well, what can I affect in the real world? Is this going to ruin the timeline kind of thing? And so that's quite serious. But then sort of in the middle, you get kind of number 5, the time traveler, who's like he has to avert the apocalypse, but there's also a lot of there's some willy-nilly murder, which is played for laughs kind of thing.
Yeah, he murders like at one point like 20 people in a boardroom.
Yeah, so
and things like that.
Yeah, and exactly, and
there's also Diego's like, well, they mentioned it. He's like Batman, essentially.
Yes, exactly.
He's like
yeah,
a crap version of Batman.
He's exactly. Yeah, and he's he's kind of got a. Does he have the rawest deal in terms of powers?
Maybe bending knives and stuff.
Yeah.
What number is he supposed to be?
He's he's like number 3.
Yeah, but he's a good assassin. I think that's why they.
Oh, okay, right.
They like him, but I wouldn't say like being a gorilla man isn't great, is it?
No, and we really don't, because again they're numbered according to usefulness, but we don't really know what Reginald Hargreaves' metric for that is.
No, exactly.
And it
might even be compliance.
Exactly. It also because and again he is he's a billionaire adventurer genius sort of thing. We don't know, like he might have even ordered them in a way to cause the most trouble.
Yes.
The most discontent amongst them. Like,
Or
why
to
are you number one? Because you're not
or
even
to
that
even
good.
to get the most out of them, or to protect some of them, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Because the Ellen Page character, Vanya, she is easily the most dangerous, which we find out in the first season.
Yeah.
But he doesn't let her go on missions and do things, and it seems to be because he's aware that what she can do, and he doesn't want that to destroy the world.
Yes.
Essentially, yeah. But it's I really liked this season. I thought it was really fun, and I think it's at least as good as the first season.
I think it might be better than the first season.
There you go, Mason.
Do you think so? The first season, if you recall, in the first episode, there's a moment where I think a lot of people were like, "This show is not for me."
Yeah.
There's a scene where they all get together in the house and they all dance to the same song, but they're all separate. Do you remember
I think
that?
Charlie Clausen was also not a fan of that.
Yeah,
either.
right. A lot of people were like, I cannot get on board with this show.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I like this. I like every aspect of this.
There's
I
not
don't
even a moment in this that's like that either.
No.
I'd say. Yeah.
There's a little bit of a dance sequence in the hairdressers.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think also it's a very good looking show
Yes.
in terms of like when you're making a period piece. It's you got to do everything. It's all the locations. It's all the cards. It's all the clothes. It's a very difficult thing to do. And on top of that, there's a lot of special effects elements in this, which are the ape. There's a chimpanzee that returns. In
Yes.
this. It looks like one you'd see in a movie. It's that good. It's primo, and it's not in it much because it's probably very expensive.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
To do. But I found it kind of blew me away how good this show looks at points. There was one point where. Is Luther the ape one?
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
yes.
he breaks through a wall and you see his face through a wall. And then he's looking out. That's like there was one bit when I'm like, oh, that doesn't look great. But there's literally every other moment. There's a moment where like a dam is like all the water is like lifted out of it at one point. There's some incredible stuff in this show. I wonder though, do you think jumping from the first season, which was about averting the apocalypse, just being, I didn't mind this, but do you think people might be like, oh, they're just doing the same thing? It's just apocalypse averting again.
Oh, good question.
Do you think
but I mean, that's every superhero movie / TV series. Like, it's always the apocalypse.
Not
you know
always,
what I mean?
but yeah, I see what you're saying. Setting up for season 3, maybe not as much, but
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that could be a problem.
Yeah, but I also feel like this also feels like a continuation. It's very much like a immediate continuation of the first season. So in a way, it's the same story.
What do they say? It's like 14 days or something that had passed since the first season.
Yeah,
time traveling.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the little kid one who was an old man because you remember they meet another version of him and he's like 14 days older.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, that's. I mean, I guess it's the same with like the Terminator franchise as well. It's constantly about averting the apocalypse. There isn't a Terminator franchise about where do you get a different hat from.
Sure. Yes.
You want to see that movie? To disguise.
Yeah. No.
Pulls
Absolutely.
the hat down. They can't see his face.
Okay. Right. Gotcha. Yes.
You get it.
Yeah, I get things. Sure.
Do you want to talk a little bit about spoilers?
Yeah, let's do some spoilers.
I want to talk about.
And you want to say best series ever? I'm enjoying it a lot. I think again, if you're locked down and you're like, if you're locked down and you're at Netflix paralysis where you just flicking and flicking and flicking and you can't stop on anything because they'll start playing a preview and you don't want to see the preview. You
don't want it.
You just keep using that remote. Stop on the Umbrella Academy if you haven't watched it. Start from season 1. It's a good enjoyable show, I think.
Work your way.
Anyway,
through.
stop listening now because we're going to do a lot more spoilers. I think.
Stop listening now.
Come back later. Watch every episode of the Umbrella Academy and come back.
There are time codes. So a big reveal in this, which I'm not up to in the comics, so I didn't realize.
Yes.
The dad is an alien.
Reginald Hargreaves, yes, that's right.
What's the story behind that in the comics? I'm not up to that yet. Is he nefarious or not? Or is that a spoiler for upcoming seasons?
No, I think he's one of the good guys.
Yeah, right.
I think he's a research guy.
Okay,
He's
right.
just a scientist.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, because the moment where he pulls off his rubber mask and attacks a group of people, which I quite enjoy. And for me, it was like, throughout this whole show, it's like, what is fucking with this guy? Like,
Yeah, right,
And then it's like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. That
right. Everything is clear now.
definitely, yeah. This isn't a spoiler as well, I guess, but I meant to mention it earlier. But there's a fish character in this.
Yes.
Where it's a man. He's got a human body, but his head is a fish bowl.
Yes.
With a fish in it.
Yes.
And the fish talks and swims around.
Yes, and smokes.
And it smokes. And just looking at that, I'm like, God, that's a good effect and a good design.
Yeah,
Was
for
that
sure.
in the first season? I don't even remember.
No, he was not. He's new.
Okay,
he's new, so Kate Walsh plays the handler, and he is her replacement. And
Yeah, right.
So
yeah,
he's
okay.
new. I
So he
think.
wasn't even like a board member in the previous.
I don't think
thing?
so. No,
I don't remember seeing.
No, I
him,
think I feel we'd remember Fishbowl Man.
Yeah.
but that is such a classic, sort of 1950s, 1960s
Totally.
sci-fi.
It feels like a Hellboy Shape of Water kind of thing.
Yes.
As well, doesn't it? Which I quite enjoyed. But yeah, so at the end of the series, they're then back to the modern day. Well, they skip ahead past the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And then it's from there you see that the brother who died is actually alive in a different timeline. And the father, I guess, maybe didn't adopt them. You don't really see what's exactly going on, but it seems like the next season isn't going to be setting up for another apocalypse kind of situation necessarily. But also that guy is aware of them because they kept confronting him in the past in the 60s. So he knows who they are. And clearly based on him knowing who they are, he's made some deliberate changes in the timeline.
Yes, that's right.
Make things slightly different in the modern day. Also, he might not even be properly dead in any timelines because he is an alien. So it's like, is he even dead in
Well,
any
see,
of
that's
these?
exactly it. Like the only questions that sort of arose, like again, they do seem to be playing kind of fast and loose with the time travel rules, and who knows, maybe the laws of physics around time travel can change or whatever. Like there's a moment where Five is like, okay, I'm going to find my previous self and get a time travel briefcase because he'll have one on him because he's still working for the commission at this point. And I'm like, well, what would happen if you take it from him?
Yeah.
Isn't he stranded in time forever then?
Yeah, exactly.
So-
yeah. Do you come back and give it to him or what? Yeah.
Or does the commission come and give him another briefcase?
Yeah.
And where does it all lead,
Yeah,
James?
exactly. And then the way that they end things up with that guy is they kind of push him through to the start of Five's story in season 1. But things would never, they've messed with it too much where they are, they shouldn't be in the timeline.
Yeah, right,
Because of changes that they've made to their own past.
Yes, exactly.
As a result of this series. But I think maybe it's that Avengers style timeline where it's every timeline is a slightly different dimension
Yeah,
or whatever.
right, uh-huh.
So maybe that's the way it works.
Are we getting a season 3, I wonder?
I would say almost certainly. And then they'll cancel it.
Yeah, cool.
Just how they do everything.
Well, there's 4 seasons there's 4 volumes. Oh, no, wait. Volume 4 isn't out yet. So,
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So we've got cause Hotel Oblivion is the next one. So we've got 3 seasons, I guess, or editions of
Is
the
it a
comic
volume
book.
a season?
I think Dallas was a lot shorter.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I know I noticed looking at this as well. There's a real look to these modern comic book TV shows. I feel like this and Watchmen and The Boys.
And Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. They have a look. Do you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
I do.
I know whether it's the hyper color saturated
Yeah.
look maybe. I like it.
Yeah.
But do you feel like a lot of these are becoming quite uniform in the way that they present?
I wouldn't say uniform, but I think you're right about the color and the like Doom Patrol definitely has that look as well.
I should watch Doom Patrol.
I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why.
Maybe
but
it's just the way things...
just a stylist thing. I think maybe it's
Because I think everything was like CW, Arrow, supernatural
Yeah.
looking, grey and dark.
Yeah, I
And we've
think-
kind of come
yeah, and I
back
think
into this.
my guess is that they're like, okay, we want to differentiate these from regular dramas.
Yes.
So let's give it
bit of pizzazz.
A little bit of
oomph.
pizzazz.
What's Doom Patrol on here at the moment? I've got no idea. Could I just purchase it on
Let's check
various
Just
pla-
Watch.
check justwatch.net.
Yeah, probably not though.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know.
Because I don't think it's on Netflix at the moment.
No, if anything, it's probably on Binge.
What's Binge?
Rupert Murdoch.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Did you see that James Murdoch left the Murdochs?
Wow, that's really going to change a lot, isn't it? What a brave man. What a brave man.
That's what I'm saying.
To just leave a horrible company with all you'll have is your millions or possibly billions of dollars. I mean, good on you.
Thank you, Mason.
It's on
Somebody's
Binge.
fought. It is on Binge.
You can
okay.
buy it on Apple TV. Apple Plus
Okay,
TV.
well, I'll do
thingy
that. I'll
jiggy.
purchase it somewhere. It'll be
Nice.
somewhere else.
Yes.
Very good stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to talk about TV shows because
I find it very easy to talk about TV
I
shows.
just finished 10 episodes of it,
Yes.
in addition to playing an upcoming video game. What
Yeah.
is it? Who knows? But yeah, I should have taken more notes because during I'm like, oh, that's an interesting choice. Oh, that
Yeah.
character did. And then I only took a handful of notes,
Yeah.
and I feel like I should have.
But what I do enjoy about this is, one, it's been such a long time since I've read The Umbrella Academy that I'm not really ahead of what's going to happen in this show, which is nice.
Yes.
And also they don't seem to be afraid of making changes as well.
Yeah, right.
They're like, okay, well, let's introduce new characters or put some different.
Do you know how much, say, Gerard Way, the creator of, has in this series?
I don't know at all.
I don't know that either. There you go. It only came out last year. February last year was the first season. So I'd imagine the next season will be pushed back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
Unless it's over a Zoom meeting.
I mean, it's modern day.
And they're all doing, it's all, I think we're alone now, and they're all on Zoom.
But they're all on, they don't realise that everybody can
Yeah,
see
they
them.
think they've muted their video and their mic. They all think it. But that's why they're a lot more similar than they think, you know?
Absolutely they are.
Yeah.
Do you kind of wish that they actually cut off the guy's head and put him on an actual gorilla's body, like in the comic book?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I guess there's
Was
only...
he strong before that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so his power set is basically the same as... Yeah, look, I do wish that just because it's wackier, but I understand the impulse is always, I think, to like flatten it out a little bit for TV, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of X-Men, starting from X-Men, it's like, well, people will freak out if everything is wild all the time kind of thing. And if you're like, Also, it probably...
Do you feel like this has been flattened out? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, just that.
Yeah.
Like this is pretty much other than Doom Patrol, this is pretty much the wackiest comic book adaptation on TV.
The Boys is pretty...
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
We're in a golden age of TV, James.
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
good. When's The Boys coming out? September?
It's going to be in a few weeks, month or so.
Nice, I'm excited for that.
Me too.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's it, and I understand why they didn't do that.
Yeah.
So he'd have to shave himself down every day.
Would he?
Yeah, I mean, if he's doing those shirtless prize fighting,
Oh, yeah, he would too. Yeah, fair enough.
it's also people would wonder about the neck. The neck
The
scene.
neck, yeah. Geez, those prosthetics don't look very comfortable. Even though when he's got clothes on, he still has to wear that muscle suit underneath.
Yeah, that's true,
Yeah. Good on him. I think also, just quickly, that some other characters got more of an interesting arc in this one. I think like Diego's story in particular. I don't even remember what the deal with that character was in the first season, but I think he did get some interesting fleshing out of his motivations, and he gets his own love story as well.
Yes,
during
that's
this,
true.
I found was really interesting. And also people are like, he's the dumb one, like essentially.
Yes, that's
I mean,
true.
he's not obviously dumb, but it comparatively, like he's a hothead and he's
obsessed. He has obsessive tendencies.
Yeah.
Like you can see how his childhood, you know, his father always told him that he was a hero, and that's imprinted on him in a bad way. So now his whole goal is like, well, I'm in the past. I must be here to stop the assassination of JFK because that's a big crime that happened, and I'm a crime fighter. So that's my goal here.
Exactly.
I wonder if there's people who are like, I don't buy the motivations of these characters. That's something that I was thinking about when I watched this.
What do you think would be something that you'd...
Well, like I don't know, like, but I feel like again, it makes more sense when you realize that their entire childhoods have been building up to this. You know?
Well, that's what I was thinking as well. Like, I think all the motivations you can see are directly linked back to the way.
Like, I'm sure there are people out there who are like, why don't they just band together and figure this out very quickly? And what's like, because they
hate each other.
They hate each other, yeah. They barely tolerate each other most of the time, and now they're in a bizarre situation, and a lot of them have been alone for years, and they're...
And it's also a situation where they're not, like they have things in common, but they're not genetically related.
Yes.
So I'm sure that would also play a factor in, you know, the way that they interact and the different power sets that they have. And, you know, they're different. Yeah. They're very individual in personalities and power-wise and genetically, you know. Yes. So I think that plays a factor too.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to season 3 whenever that comes out. I'd also like to not watch like 5 in a row and then 5 in a row like I did for this.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
But you got to do a podcast.
You got to do a podcast. Sometimes you got to create. You got to create. You got
to create, Mason.
You got to create content for
also,
a podcast.
some wigs in this weren't great. I should point out as well.
I didn't even think about the wigs.
Blonde wigs, Mason, on the Swedes or whatever.
Oh, I see.
There's
yeah,
not as good blonde wigs in this.
We didn't even mention the Swedes. How do you feel about the Swedes?
Yeah, I'm not big on it because I feel like that was one thing I didn't love. There's always like a generic, who are these guys? Why are they coming to kill us kind of thing. I think like there was that in the first season, and you know, there's just a different variation on that. Like seeing an unnamed, like unspeaking Matrix-esque trio or duo turn up to kill you. And you're like, who are these? What are
like
guys
at least
doing
last
here?
season we had Hazel and Char Char, and
they
at
were
least
really
Hazel had a love
compelling.
story.
Yeah.
You know, and he started sort of questioning his job and what he was doing there, and then we had the other side who was just like, no, job's the job. You gotta,
Yeah.
You know, we had that conflict building up. With these guys was just like, we're just tired muscle and we don't talk and we're weird.
Yeah, we throw knives at each other.
We
for fun
cook in
or
our
whatever.
underpants. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
cook in our underpants. Yeah. So you got to do it. No, too much hot oil. Don't do it.
Yeah, no, don't do it.
All in all, Umbrella Academy.
Is that our ranking system now?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think Umbrella Academy. You.
Great.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm not going to do anything.
Okay, good.
Should we do the next segment of the show?
Yes.
Do you know what it is?
It's what we're reading
Yeah.
and then what we're going to read.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It's a big week for Netflix.
It is.
Did you watch any of
I have to put
Transformers
the
War for
theme song in
Cybertron?
first.
Okay, right.
Let me put the theme in.
Yeah, I thought you would have
Let me
snuck it
say
in there.
Westworld.
Okay, right. Oh, that's right. You do it live now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing the theme. What are we reading today? What are you Westworlding, Mason?
Oh, did you watch any of War for Cybertron?
I watched the first 1.5.
What did you think of it? I felt not compelling.
I didn't love it.
I also, yeah.
I've seen the reviews and I'm like, people seem to be really enjoying it, but
I
I
watched
thought
about 5, I think.
Okay.
And it looks great.
does look great.
It's so good. It's so, like, every panel of every Transformer has, you know, a realistic texture.
a rustic finish.
A rustic finish and a you know, a scorch mark and
Sure.
and it looks good.
A scritch and a scratch.
It's got a scritch and also a scratch. And yeah, Cybertron looks appropriately dirty, but it's not. It's slow. It's a slow
like
show.
a slow show, yeah.
And look, the first episode I felt was not promising. It was very slow, and I pushed through, and it moves along at a bit of a quicker pace.
Okay.
But it all feels like, it does kind of feel like just an old school cartoon with a really fresh lick of paint on it.
Okay.
In the sense that it's, you know, there's a lot of standing and talking, and then there's a brief action sequence, and then there's the next episode.
Yeah, okay.
And it's, you know,
So would you recommend me pushing through on it?
give it a couple more episodes, I think.
Because I didn't dislike it, but also,
Yeah.
you know what I think it is? I'm watching it and I'm like, I'm watching so much Transformers at the moment, and I'm watching bad Transformers.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And I don't want to watch this right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was part of it. But I love the designs as well. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
I like the voice cast. This guy called Jake Fusey is the new
Optimus
Optimus
Prime.
Prime.
Right.
And he started as doing like, on YouTube, be like, check out my Optimus Prime impersonation.
Oh, really?
But he's really good. I can't remember who said this, but I remember someone saying it's all well and good to like, to be able to like
Say the lines.
copy a voice and do like an impression of Yoda.
Yep.
But how do you do Optimus Prime saying a different thing and make it sound
Like Yoda.
like Yoda? Yeah,
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like make it sound like Peter Cullen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's. I think he does I think the voice cast is really good.
Yeah.
Did you watch?
Also, there's very little transforming.
Oh right, okay.
Did you know-
I haven't. I'm not that.
Do you even remember any transforming in that?
Don't. Mate, did Optimus Prime? Does he just come in and he is a truck?
No, but he transforms into a truck.
Okay.
And
But I mean,
there's-
do you see him transform into a truck?
Yes, and Megatron is a tank in this, but it's like there's a lot of action sequences where they're all just huddled behind cover and just firing guns.
Okay.
It's like, and I know I've probably been poisoned by the Michael Bay Transformers.
Sure.
Just endless spinning and shooting and transforming.
Yes.
But give me a happy medium somewhere in the middle there, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I felt it was like the old Transformers, because it's like, you know, because they were cheap and like the old cartoons where they were kind of cheap and, you know, absolute minimum of any movement and animation because of that. But surely there's a lot of money involved in this. Or maybe there isn't.
Well, this is from Rooster Teeth, who like Red versus Blue, and they've done a bunch of other stuff on YouTube. But now they make a lot of regular things and video games and stuff
Okay,
like
yeah.
that. The H Bomber guy recently did a episode on Ruby, which is their anime.
RWBY, whatever that is. Yeah.
So it's their like anime inspired action show.
Okay.
And without spoiling that video, it's like 2.5 hours long. He goes through and talks about how it was made and why it's not great and what it borrows from and what it gets wrong.
And that's an original concept.
And that's also from that's from Rooster Teeth. Who, I mean, I'm not saying, I don't even think a lot of the people involved on that are involved in this.
Okay.
Maybe they are, but I just found that coincidental that these two things are linked in that particular
right.
way. But yeah, I've never seen Ruby, but I watched the video and I'm like, this show seems insane.
Okay, right.
Yeah. But what I did watch,
Yeah, go on.
I finished Avatar: The Last Airbender.
The whole thing. How many seasons of that?
There's
is there?
3.
Okay.
It's so great.
All right,
I
I'll
loved
watch
it
it.
so much.
I'll watch
You
it.
know what I want to do?
What's that?
You need to listen to me very clearly, Mason. For
I'm
this,
listening
'cause
to you
you're involved.
somewhat.
I want to record.
You want to dress up as the characters?
I do. I want to be Aang. I want to be a 13-year-old boy or whatever. I want to record a caravan of garbage on the Shyamalan movie.
Okay.
Me having seen the season, you not.
Oh, okay.
Then we go back. You watch the season.
Yep.
We talk about the season, but then we release that one first. So we do we do that.
Okay.
And we do the movie, and then we do the Legend of Korra.
Okay, so I'm going to need to watch the movie first, so
Yes.
the live-action movie, which
Yep.
everyone hates and agrees
Yeah.
is terrible.
But the reason I want that is
and then then for the first season of Avatar.
But the
Okay.
reason I want you to do that is because I want one of us to come at as someone who knows the source material a little bit.
Yeah.
And someone who's never seen it.
And you've never seen the movie?
No.
Okay, right. So,
So-
neither of us have seen the movie. Okay, this is exciting. All right.
Do you think that would be an interesting
I think
way
this is a
to
very
come
exciting
at it?
experiment,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, we
Very
could
good.
also both watch the series and do it that way. But these ones we might have to record.
I like your cockamamie scheme.
But I think these ones would have to record over a few months.
Yeah, right.
Because watching it took me a month, maybe two, to get through the first season.
Okay.
So
Because you found it boring.
no,
is
I
what you were
liked it a
telling me.
lot.
No, you said you found it boring.
I was so annoyed because every week I'm like, I'm going to sit down and watch a couple episodes in this. I'm like, oh, I have to chip at this fucking Transformers movie. So that's
I have to deal with my family. Ugh.
But it's great. It's so great.
Okay, that's good to
without
know.
getting into specifics. But again, this show that's now like 14 years old, who everybody loves. Yeah, it is really good.
What a twist.
One of the best shows I've watched in a long time as well. Just so great.
Yeah.
And I just started Legend of Korra.
Yep.
Which I'm undecided on.
Yeah.
Which because I'm like an episode in. But it's good so far. Anything else?
No, that's about it. But also, there's an episode of Transformers where the Autobots fall into a really obvious trap, and they're like, "Oh my god, this was a trap." I'm like, yeah.
It is. And
Why wouldn't it be a trap?
Yeah.
Okay.
how's Ultra Magnus?
He's very Ultra Magnus-y.
That's good.
He's
Are they
looking
brothers
good.
in this continuity?
It doesn't seem that way, no.
Yeah.
But also,
Are there either any primes of old?
not so far, but I'm only like 5 in. I haven't seen Ultra Magnus transform yet. That's another criticism I have of it.
Because people love this show, Mason.
They're so far all besides the Seekers,
Yeah.
the Australian band The Seekers.
Yes.
Besides the Seekers like Starscream and etc., who don't transform into Earth planes, they transform into like sort of triangular pyramidal sort of shaped spaceships.
Yeah.
Everybody else I've seen transform in this just sort of transforms into what is basically an Earth.
Truck. or
Yeah,
whatever.
basically they're all a truck.
Yeah.
Give me some variety. And maybe that's why they're not transforming as much, because it's like, well, we have to design
Optimus
new
Prime
modes.
does look a lot like an Earth truck.
Yeah, and Hound, who is a Jeep on Earth, pretty much just looks like a Jeep.
Because if you look at the video games, which aren't related to this, like the design of Bumblebee,
Yeah.
the car is very distinct.
Cybertronian, yeah.
Yeah, which I
Well,
like.
he hasn't transformed yet, but I imagine he's going to look a lot like a Volkswagen.
Yes.
But just... Oh, also...
There's 10 reviews and they're all very positive.
well,
It says dark and gritty.
it's not that dark or gritty.
Fans glued to the screen.
I wasn't glued to the screen.
Compelling and splendid.
None of those things.
Certain scenes will rock the world of long-time Transformers
Maybe
fans.
the episodes I haven't seen, but...
Yuan's portrayal of Autobots versus Decepticons.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's interesting. So,
Because
but...
they were mates, which is some of the
Yeah, but also
continuity.
it seems like in this version of the continuity, the Decepticons were built as sort of maybe like a worker
Yeah.
race or something like that, and the Autobots will just sipping their energy on,
Those sons of
just being
bitches.
like, oh, it doesn't affect me, you know, and then the revolution has happened. Also, there's a character whose name is Spinister, but the voice actor, and that's what and I'm watching it with subtitles called Spinister, but the voice actor's like, they're like, Decepticons checking in, and he's like, Spinster checking in, and I'm like, oh, so he's an unmarried older lady, is he? Is that what's going on? But we've only heard his name mentioned once. I don't know if he's coming back. But
That's terrific.
I don't know. So I don't know. There's some weird missteps in it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Spinster sounds good. Sounds like a great character.
Yeah, that's right.
Should we get on with it then? All right. Let's do
Let's do
the
letters.
segment of the
I'll
show.
put in some letters. Here we go.
I love letters.
The classic one with
Oh,
Oh
no.
no, James, what's happened?
Oh,
And they played an
no.
ad. Wow. What I was going to do there is I was going to be like, because you couldn't get your theme
Couldn't
song
do
to
it.
work. I was going to be like, well, I'll get my theme song to work and we'll all have a grand time, but guess not.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away. I know they're here right now. We're going to do letters.
Hello and welcome to the letters section of the show. The section
you.
where we go, what letters we got?
I feel welcomed.
And that, by letters, we mean tweets. Weekly
And
Planet
emails
Pod.
sometimes, yeah.
Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod on Twitter if you want to
That's
send to a tweeter, or weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. So do you want to start, or would you like
Yeah,
me
here's
to
an
start?
email. It's
I
from
love
Forrest
emails.
Rogers. It says 5 stars and a thumbs up.
Wow.
Just want to mention how much I appreciate your content. I frequently listen to your podcast while preparing meals from HelloFresh. Thanks to their easy-to-follow step-by-step instructions and your podcast, the meal prep time just flies by.
What a combination of things.
Yeah, a combination of yeah.
It's making it happen.
I don't know if he's being paid by HelloFresh. I don't know if
But we are.
listeners, if you're out there and you want to get a sponsorship for HelloFresh, where you email in to podcasts who are sponsored by HelloFresh and tell us how easy it is to make meals with HelloFresh. Maybe that's a market in there. I don't know. That's good for you.
Terrific.
But here's another one as well.
Okay.
This is from Alfonso Valcarcel. It says hot scoop or maybe potentially
cool,
a shot of poop.
Oh.
Hey, James and Mason, I've got some red hot comic book news and need shooting up buttholes. A friend of mine who was in a local acting group here in Puerto Rico told me the group received a casting call from Marvel looking for a 12 to 15-year-old Latina actress for a leading role in a Marvel film. I was thinking it maybe could be America Chavez, given that canonically she is from Puerto Rico. But who knows? Either way, it'd be pretty great to have a local actor be in a Marvel film.
What series, though?
Well, that's a good question.
what movie
Maybe
or
A-Force?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, maybe Young Avengers.
Could be Young Avengers. Well, that's the thing. I mean, given that, given what we've had before, it could be, and the teams she's been on, it could be A-Force, Young Avengers. It could be the Ultimates, which is the team led by Black Panther and Captain Marvel and others.
Yes.
Which I would like to see a lot, which is kind of like, Cosmic Space Avengers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be really good. That would be good stuff.
So it's definitely a Marvel property.
Says casting call from Marvel. So yeah.
It could be a television show like, one of the ABC ones.
Could be. It could be Hellstrom.
Could be Hellstrom, it could be. I still haven't watched that trailer.
It's not exciting.
I looked at it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, right.
I've got a tweet here, Mason.
Okay, go ahead.
It's from Just Jonathan. Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod.
He's emailed him before, Just Jonathan.
I don't believe you.
Okay, right.
Would you like to see a sequel to The Social Network, perhaps largely focused on Zuck's court hearings regarding Facebook? Of the three, who was the most important to return to work on the sequel? Eisenberg, Sorkin, Fincher.
Ooh.
I think it's Fincher for me.
Yeah.
But I think there's no reason why you shouldn't get all those guys back.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I mean, there's no rule that says they can't.
Did you see
None of them have been legally prohibited from being in a movie. So.
Did you see the Zuckerberg...
saw the surfing photo? Yeah, of course I did, yeah.
What's he doing?
But I mean, here's the thing, though, because if you look at Zuckerberg, he's gotten blander over the years.
He has, hasn't he?
Like, something's happened to him, and I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's the pressure of...
Botox?
Yeah, maybe. No, I don't think so. But I think it's just you go weird when you're a billionaire.
Like it's
something
the
happens
hair
to you.
and the face and the clothes.
Something happens to your brain.
It's like he blends into the wall.
Or maybe you're always like this, but you're
Yeah.
allowed to... because like maybe he had to pretend to be more human when he wasn't a billionaire, but now that he is, he can just be like, well, this is me. I don't like anything. All I like is hoarding billions of dollars. That's all I do.
I got famous. I ruined the world by making a site that rates women on campus.
All I do is like looking at a number.
Yeah.
If the number goes up, and that is all I enjoy.
That is a good thing.
But I don't know. Like he's gotten blander, and you could just get a guy who looks like Jesse Eisenberg but blander, and just be like, he's gotten blander. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that's true because he certainly has personality, doesn't he? In
In Social Network
I
movie,
think that's such a good movie. I'd love to see a follow up to that, but I think you could look at it all like involved in how like elections and. There's so much you could do with it.
Yeah.
But maybe you want to wait for another 5 years to see.
Well, I don't like the idea of you make a movie all about that, and what's happening to them? Well, they're still all billionaires.
Yeah.
I gotta wait till they're all in jail. Is all I'm saying.
He's never going to jail.
No.
But at the end,
Well, he'll end up in a bunker at some point.
oh, that's true.
Yeah,
And
which
his
is like
guards- and
jail.
His guards will kill him.
Yeah, it's like jail, isn't it?
Yeah, it is like jail. But he, I can't even remember what I was going to say. Zuckerberg, yeah. That movie ends kind of sadly because he's like, oh, he still likes that girl or whatever. But I don't think he does like that girl.
No, I don't think he- yeah, no, you're right.
I didn't think he cares about anything.
yeah.
I think he's a monster.
No, James, he cares about that number going up.
Oh, yeah, and being president. Remember when he was going around to factories and meeting people because he was going to run for president at one point?
I love sitting around this pond
Yes.
/ lake.
Do you remember the virtual tour he did of things where he went to like a flood ravaged area and he's like a cartoon avatar?
No.
He's like, look, now we're in this flood ravaged town. And he's like this cartoon Zuckerberg in the middle of
I don't remember
floodwaters.
that, and you could be making it up, but it could be
I'm
very
not.
real. So there's
I'm
no
definitely not.
We've reached that point in the world where anything could be real or a joke at this point. So
I mean, we've got that Facebook Great Mates group, which is the only reason I go on Facebook these days because my like personal Facebook timeline is fucking horrible. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah, no,
What do you
for
think of
sure.
yours?
I hate it. Again, I would have deleted Facebook. Look, also FYI, a lot of people do add me from Facebook. They're like, oh, it's Moso, he's in the group. I should add him. There's nothing on my Facebook page. Like there's
No,
nothing.
mine
I
neither,
never
yeah.
change. I never changed my avatar. I never add anything on.
Yeah.
Like I never post a status or anything. Like you're not missing anything.
You just get happy birthday messages every year. from the
Exactly.
same
Yeah.
10 people.
Yeah. But I like the current situation, which is where I get less and less every year.
Me too.
And one day I'm going to have one person. I'm going to yell at them.
There's also that guy that you've got is friends with on your Facebook who we don't know whether he's dead or not.
Right?
Because the only thing for the past 12 years,
At least,
maybe,
yeah.
is just birthday messages and
Yeah.
nothing else.
And no response from
And
him
you
or
haven't
anything.
heard anything about him, have you, from anybody?
Nope.
He could be dead.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Anyway,
man.
Facebook.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah.
I'm in a local group as well, like a local community group.
I like
which
where
is
you live, right, yeah.
Which is mostly people like, whose cat is this?
Oh, wait, it's my cat. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, that's really good.
Who took the newspaper off my front lawn?
It was me.
It was my wife later. I figured it out. Sorry, everyone.
Part of me wants to make a local ruckus and then just sit back and watch it unfold.
Oh.
Nothing like dangerous, but just do something truly bizarre.
I thought what you were going to say.
Younger
there is-
me was all about that.
I
You
thought-
know I was about
I
that.
thought you were going to say like a. Yeah, it's true. You were a real firebrand. I thought you were going to say you were going to make like a rival local group.
I think
But
there
just
is
make
one already.
but just make it weirder.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just make it like Welcome to Night Vale style, where it starts out normal. It's like, hey, everybody, just, some regular goings on in town. Just post up anything. And then it's like, did anybody notice the moon looked weird last night? It looked like it had a hole in it. I don't understand. Does
go
anyone
from
hear that
there.
noise? Does anyone hear that buzzing noise? Those weird lights?
What could I do to my local community? I have to think about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Younger
Support
me,
it. Support it, James.
Yeah, support it obviously, but younger me, I would have had a great idea immediately. I don't have that anymore.
Yeah,
All my
yeah.
ideas go into this.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. This from Max Dobson.
Oh, yes.
Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod on Twitter, Mason. Since COVID has damaged the structure of the film industry with vast delays and cancellations, will there be a change of heart when the doors open again? Will people grow out of superhero franchises and CGI-heavy blockbusters? I think there is going to be a shift in what people see.
I'll
but
see
I
your
don't know
Dobson.
what-
I'll
Oh,
see
yeah?
your Dobson and raise you a Michael Ryan. He's written, it says Hollywood COVID vacuum.
Okay.
It says, let's face it, the US is going to be out of commission for some time while a lot of countries have seen their COVID outbreaks come and go. It's true. It makes me think we'll soon see a boom in international content that wasn't filmed in Hollywood or elsewhere in the US.
Like Hollywood.
Are there any international film projects you're excited about that might get a chance to thrive in the upcoming Hollywood content vacuum? I'm personally really excited about the Wheel of Time series from Amazon, which has resumed filming in Prague.
Oh.
So, yeah, I think it's a whole,
Yeah.
how's the landscape going to shake
Well,
out?
there's that Apple thing that's coming up about Isaac Asimov thing, isn't
Oh,
there?
Foundation. Yeah,
Foundation.
that's. Mhm.
There's a HP Lovecraft series that's coming.
Lovecraft Country. Did you see the trailer for that? Looks wild.
I did, maybe?
I
Or a
don't
snippet
know what
of?
that show's about.
Lovecraft.
No, but it's-
Tentacle monsters.
Yeah, no,
Things
it
you
is.
can't even possibly imagine coming to the screen.
No, all those things are true. Yes, but because I'm like, well, I'll because it's based on a book, and I'm like, well, I'll go and I'll click the link and I'll see what the book is about, and I'm not sure if the book is about literal Lovecraftian monsters or if it's about racism and prejudice as represented by metaphorical Lovecraft monsters.
Sure.
And so I'm also wondering if that's what this is. The show is about. Is it? Is it going to be, these people have to deal with their, prejudice and racism and bigotry
While fighting a tentacle with a shovel.
tentacle monsters, or if that's a metaphor? Like, because we literally see Cthulhu or like some avatar of Cthulhu in the trailer, and I'm like, is that going to be real or is that going to be a nightmare?
What is it, do you think?
I think it's probably real.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, pretty good, right? They're going
of
to
the
shoot it
time-
with a shotty, mate.
Yeah, most of the time in Lovecraft, it's real, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, this is a real tentacle monster, actually.
It's like, are these people in this town? Are they real mean and weird because they're isolated, or is it fishmen? It's fishmen.
Yeah, but both.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. So I think there will be. I think blockbusters are going to become something else. They shift every decade or couple of decades.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm not saying like comic book movies and that are going to disappear, but we might be getting a different brand of things that we like.
Look, and I've said this previously that I would like.
No
to
origins is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, no, that's cool. Well, but I mean, it's very cheap to. You buy some pearls online.
Yep.
And you buy some fake guns, and then you just repeat Bruce Wayne's Batman origin over and over and over again.
That's right.
Every TV show has it.
Even if you're doing a Batman parody origin show or whatever.
I would like to see a return to like mid-budget movies.
Yeah.
Because that's where the creativity
I
is,
think
and
we're
just
getting more of
work
that
with your
on streaming though.
work with your limitations.
Yes.
Zoom meetings, obviously.
Oh my
I'm just
God.
kidding, not Zoom meetings, but just the idea of, okay, well, we only have limited space and we only have limited budget and we can't work on locations.
Yeah.
Now give us a series based on that. Don't say it's Zoom. Give us another
Yeah.
Like give us a property that, you know, more locked room mysteries, more single bottle episodes, more
Animations even.
more animation. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's going to change and we'll see what happens, won't we?
Yes.
Yeah, but I also think studios are also continuing to make big budget films, but just locking everything down real tight.
That's true.
Like,
yeah.
a lot of Marvel stuff is still happening. Jurassic World 3 has got a whole lot of restrictions happening, so which is good.
And you know what? Look, and one thing positive that's come out of that is there doesn't seem to be any leaks.
No.
Like if everything's locked down and if you can't, you know, take your costume outside because it'd have to be sterilized or whatever, then we're not seeing them outside and we can maybe be surprised by some stuff for once.
Oh my goodness.
For once in our lives, James.
I love being surprised, Mason.
Me too.
Sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness. But that was a pleasant surprise, I say to myself.
That's right. Wowie zowie, you say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should I do a pleasant surprise local prank? What should I do?
Oh.
Should I just like make a big dog turd and put it in the center of town? What do I do?
How big are we talking?
I don't know, as big as a car?
How are you making it? Out of other dog turds? Are you gathering up all the dog turds?
No, it would have to be fake. I can't be real dog turds because then somebody has to come and deal with that. I don't want anything destructive. If anyone's got any ideas, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, genuinely.
Okay.
Yeah, but no snitches, obviously.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that it?
Look, I don't know how you're going to pull this off, but I'm...
No big dog turd idea.
Yeah, but if you do, we go viral, so...
Yeah.
Or get cancelled, one of the two.
Whatever.
Just anything at this point. Anything at all. Yeah, that's all the letters, I think, this week.
Well, do you want to bring us to a close?
Yes.
You lead me into reading some reviews. That's how this works.
That is absolutely how it works. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. Again, I think, as we said, we're getting more restrictions this week in Victoria. Future podcasts might be remote.
Yep.
So we might lose a little bit of pizzazz, but we hope you stick with us.
You don't have to.
I mean, you don't. It's true. Do something else where you can live your life. But I think we'll actually we won't lose any pizzazz, but we will increase the amount of us going. Wait, you go.
Okay, just give me. I've lost him. He just dropped.
Yeah. Look, you know what? I don't think we should even record on Zoom. I think we should just record over the phone.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like record our phone calls.
No.
Yeah.
We'll do it. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, thank you,
Zoom's
everybody, for continuing to listen. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for telling a friend. Thank you for leaving a nice review. James, do you have a nice review?
It's from Small Sandwich. I wrote a review. Are you happy now? Please stop asking. I had a lengthy review plan where I led the reader on an emotional roller coaster and really made them understand why you should watch this podcast. But because it's 5 a.m. and I have better things to do, like sleep, oh my God, I'm tired. I'll leave it with this. Meh, it's pretty good. He says, can you please stop asking reviews? No, I can't stop asking.
Well, we'll stop asking you for reviews.
You don't have to do one anymore.
So in the future, Small Sandwich, if you are listening to this, when we just feel relieved in the knowledge that we're not talking to you
that being said, sometimes the stars and that disappear, so you might have to do it.
So maybe check every time. So I tell you what, every time we talk about reviews, recheck to see if your review's still there.
I love that.
And if it's not, you got to put it in again.
But you don't have to put it in if it's already there because you've done your job.
Yeah.
Just like Cam, the Batman fan, says, best place for comic book movie news and grilling advice. 5 stars. Thank you. Just in app. Do you know you can do it in app? Only here you can listen to one man try to salvage a comic book movie news podcast as the other slowly succumbs to dad madness of barbecuing and briquettes. Top quality stuff, 10 out of 10. Oh. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
What's next, Mason?
Then
you just do it in app.
It's so easy. It's so easy. If you want to get a hold of us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod at Gmail, at Facebook, at Twitter, at Bandcamp.
Yes.
You can go to planetbroadcasting.com. You can look at all the podcasts on the Planet Broadcasting Network. You can sign up to the newsletter from the great Rob Collins. He's at Raw Collins on Twitter. He's also at The Weekly Planet. I'm Wikipedia Brown on Twitter, and I'm also Nick Maso, NickMaseau on Instagram. You are Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere, correct, James?
Goddamn way every day.
If you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. If you'd like to chuck in a buck, any amount at all, we'd certainly appreciate it. Whatever you can spare in these strange and troubling times.
No, it's fine right now. Everything's good.
Oh, that's great. You can also go to the Amazon affiliate link in our episode description if you want to click through, buy some stuff, get it delivered to your house. You don't have to leave the house. The perfect crime. Just do it through our link. You can also go to bigsandwich.co. That's the big one.
That's the big one. This is where you get the real deal.
People have often asked, they're like, I already subscribe to Patreon. What helps us out the most?
Yes.
The actual answer to that is Patreon does take a big fee out every time. So if you
also, I don't trust the platform to be around forever or make some weird change.
Well, exactly, yeah. So if you sign up to bigsandwich.co, it's $9 a month, and we get $9 a month. But if you sign up on Patreon, if you donate $9 a month, we get less than $9 a month. So
And then it goes through PayPal, which then get a percentage of whatever.
Right, exactly.
And
So-
again, it's the whole platform thing I don't trust. You could think of Big Sandwich as like a $9 tier of Patreon, I guess.
Yeah.
Except on a different website.
yeah. So the actual answer is bigsandwich.co, but also it's a lot of mucking about. So if
Yeah,
you're already,
so
so do whatever you want,
whatever you
or
want,
nothing
man.
at all. It's
Or
fine. It's
nothing is
fine. Just
fine.
listen to the show and enjoy the show.
At this moment, we haven't been taking anything down from the Big Sandwich website. We still got to discuss how
Oh my God, there's so much content in
there's
there.
a lot on there, like all the movie commentaries and everything. We've got another one coming up next week, I think.
do, yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
this
true.
week is we got this covered.
Which is a good sign that we should probably record another.
We should do it. Get one in the can.
Get one in the
before we go
can.
into lockdown again.
Potentials. If people are wondering, we could do Joker.
Yep.
That's one.
We're looking at
that's
other,
a one.
What was the other DC properties we were looking at? Did we talk about Batman Begins? Maybe.
Oh, we could do Batman Begins. That's true.
Yeah.
I thought of another one, but I've forgotten what it was. But,
We had some ideas.
we had some
I
ideas.
wouldn't mind doing Joker.
We
though.
could do an 80s action movie.
Yeah.
Or 90s. We could do a Commando. We could do a Demolition Man, something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing Joker though. Yeah.
Anyway, it's good
Anyway.
stuff. So there's all those things. We've got some t-shirts on tpublic.com, but maybe also
other t-shirts.
If you go to tpublic.com, why not check out the Robat Battinbat t-shirt? Because I'd like to see some of those in the wild. I think that would be very fun.
Me too.
Thank
With
you.
all
for
your
the-
mates you're hanging out with, right?
That's right, yeah. Thanks to everyone.
Stop hanging out with people, mates. You're going to go to jail.
No, I'm not.
You're
I'm
going
not.
to go to jail. People
No,
are going to send you to jail. You're
No, we
gonna die
go.
in jail.
We're sterilized. We go in those weird future showers where they sterilize you with sound waves.
Okay, well, that's okay. Then that's fine, I guess. Yeah.
like in The Fifth Element or whatever.
Great.
So thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes. Next week, I don't know what we're going to talk about.
I don't
I
know
bet there's a
either.
new thing on Netflix or something.
There's probably a new thing. I think there is a new thing next week, but what is it? We'll find out next week.
We'll find out next week on this podcast.
We will. Thanks for listening, guys.
Grab that gem, you guys. We will see you next week.
Goodbye.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
I mean, if you want, it's up to you.